Well, good morning, everyone. Look at that, man. Isn't that gorgeous? Sun rising, man. I wanted to go a little early, man, so y'all could see the sun rising. Hey, new. Oh, man, I'm so sorry, baby. I am so sorry. How are you doing? How have you been? You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry about that. It's just where I'm at. I'm in the Eastern time zone right now, so you know what I'm saying? But look, I do want to say this, man. I'll go ahead and say this while we wait. I just want to tell everybody, make sure y'all pray for President Trump, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I think President Trump is more sick than, you know what I'm saying, what we think he is. I think his health might be a little bit more worse than what we think he is. I don't think it's critical yet, but I don't think it's as okay as we think it is. Thank you, Anu. I appreciate that, baby. But yes, indeed, we make sure we need to pray for President Trump. That being said, man, as you guys come into the stream, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Also, guys, I want to push them channel memberships. We really need to get them channel memberships up. Channel memberships start at $2.99 if you guys want to become a member of the channel. And as well, super chats, super thanks, and super stickers. They start at 99 cents if you guys want to donate. So once again, I just want to say, as you guys come into the stream, to please make sure y'all pray for President Trump. And hey, new baby, I'm gonna get out the way and let you continue enjoying this beautiful sunrise, and we'll get started in just a second. Guys, that's just too awesome, man. But that's what people is about right there. Y'all getting to see it. You know what I'm saying? This is exactly what we the people is about. It's about great interviews, talking with the people, seeing what they think, seeing how they feel. It's about giving you guys the news and great political analysis, and at the same time, nature. You know what I'm saying? If not nature in the city, We the People #3 is coming out tomorrow morning, guys, at 8 a.m. Eastern time. Right here. Same place, same channel. As you guys come into the stream, make sure y'all double tap the screen for me, like the video, subscribe to the channel. You are viewing the unadulterated beauty of the living God as the sun rises over this beautiful lake out here in Michigan. Well, good morning, guys. We're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to try to keep that, see if we can slide over to a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Hey, new baby, I'm glad you here. You know what I'm saying? So, guys, welcome to Legal Wars Live. It's the We the People tour. The name of this live stream is President Trump for the People. Me saying that, Gabriel, good morning, baby. Me saying that, I want to tell all of you guys, please, to keep President Trump again in your prayers. He's having some health conditions, some health issues. You know what I'm saying? So y'all please pray for him. That being said, guys, welcome to Legal Wars Live, man. Baby, you kicking it, excuse me, with your boy Big Ghostwriter. But welcome to Legal Wars Live, guys. You know what I'm saying? It's the We the People tour, our brand new On the Road series. For you guys who follow the content, you know we spent the first 80 days of this year touring the great state of Texas on the Texas tour. All that content is uploaded onto YouTube now. Went back home to Biloxi for a minute, then we went to North Carolina for a week, couple vlogs, couple waterfalls, but just for a week though. Next, in the middle of July, I left for Tennessee and recorded We the People 2, which is now on YouTube, so you could go watch it now. I left Tennessee about 26 days ago. I spent about 4 days in Illinois with a trip to Chicago, did a live stream on a lake in Indiana, and now we live again from one of these beautiful lakes out here in Michigan. So guys, once again, We the People 2 is now playing on YouTube. Just go to the Legal Wars Live landing page, click on the videos, The Voice of the Silent Majority, a beautiful video we recorded out in Tennessee, so make sure you guys go check that out. Also, tomorrow, Tuesday, September 2nd at 8 a.m. Eastern Time, we will premiere We the People 3, guys. That's tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern. We the People 3 vlog comes out. Lost in the Midwest, fighting for justice, and I'm excited about that as well. So make sure you guys go check that out when you guys get an opportunity. So everyone, as you guys come into the stream, I ask that you'll like the video, subscribe to the channel, make sure you hit that notification bell. Also as well, if you guys want your comment read, you want to start a conversation, or you want to donate to the channel, just hit that button with the $sign in it, and your donations are much appreciated. What's up, that boy Tony? He said Nebraska. Shout out Nebraska. Tony, will you please double tap your screen for me? Everyone in the chat, will y'all please like the video so we could get those likes up, man? I'm going to bump out the way for about 5 seconds. I'm going to let y'all, thank you. I'm going to let y'all finish viewing this waterfall coming off the lake, the gorgeous lake, and then we're going to get started with this Forbes story in just a second. Man, that is absolutely beautiful, guys. So beautiful. Let's go ahead and get started. Hey, New says, please, guys, will y'all like and subscribe so you don't never miss an episode? This is always good, baby. I thank you so much. Y'all, let's get started. So the news story. Okay, so what we're talking about is President Trump for the people. What you guys think? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think if you ask different people, of course, like, you know, if you ask some Republicans, they're going to say yes. Because the things he do is what they believe in. If you ask Democrats, they're going to say definitely not. What you guys think? I think the question is, isn't what the Republican base thinks or what the Democratic base thinks. So you got to realize that if you're a Republican, you got to realize you're a part of the base. So you probably aren't going to decide an election unless the base doesn't show up. That's a different conversation. If you're a Democrat, it's the same thing. So when you say, what does Americans think, the majority of Americans of his job, usually you would turn to the independents to get your answer. I'm going to turn to Forbes. We're going to do the analysis. Let's get to cooking. President Donald Trump's approval rating went up in the two polls this week, dipped slightly in another, and held steady in two others. As surveys show, Americans are nearly evenly split on views of his crime crackdown in Washington, D.C., and threats to replicate it elsewhere, despite crime being a top concern for voters. I think that's a problem we have in America, man, is that a lot of times, man, things are like 50-50. We can't usually get nowhere with 50. I mean, 60-40, yeah, we know the majority of Americans, 70-30, yeah, but 50-50, man, that's about how he won the election. You know what I'm saying? August 27th, he had an 18-point net approval rating. His approval rating dipped 3 points to 37%. That's the high 30s. I mean, you got to, as a Republican, you have to think about this. This has to be petrifying for you. You have a great stock market. You have a president who came into the White House and he didn't accept the status quo or the way things were. He wanted to change things. He wanted to work harder and fix things. So that's what he set out to do. In the meantime, we watched him. We watched the stock market go down. We watched the tariffs, we watched everything, but through all of that, after 8 months, he's got positive job report numbers, net positive on the job numbers every single month, right? Am I right or correct or wrong? That's right? Stock market is at record numbers. Dow Jones, S&P 500, all record numbers across the board. Unemployment rate, he's maintaining Joe Biden's record unemployment rate. You see what I'm saying? So my question to you guys is, how do you do all of that and get a 37% approval rating? Make it make sense. It's like, Ghost, where are you coming from? Ghost, are you coming as a Republican? No, I'm not coming as a Republican. I'm coming as an independent, as someone who is aware of the job that he's supposed to be doing, I'm completely aware of that, okay? Now, me being aware of the job he's supposed to be doing, looking at what he has done with the budget, with everything, I could say that's probably as best of a job that could be done in those first 8 months. But yet and still, 37% approval rating. That's why you always got to think like, it doesn't matter how I think or how I feel. You see what I'm saying? That's how you political strategists lose elections, because it does not matter how you feel. How I feel as an independent, as someone who never voted for him, as someone who never supported him. I feel that President Trump, to this point, looking at the numbers, has done a good job, but 37% of Americans agree I am in a stark minority. His disapproval rating ticked up 1 point to 55%. So that means 55% of Americans as of August the 27th, according to this Quinnipiac poll, 55% of Americans disapprove of what President Trump has done. August 21st through the 25th, poll of 1,220 registered voters with a margin of error about 3.4%. You say, Ghost, well, man, we see this and we hear this all the time with every president. You know what I'm saying? Especially with President Trump, you could say, hey, Ghost, listen, with President Trump, they said that he wasn't going to do A, B, and C. And look, he won the election. The polls always say that president, but he always... Yeah, I understand that, and I get that. But this is something completely different. The majority, 56%, oppose President Trump's deployment of National Guard troops to Washington, D.C., though they're starkly divided along party lines, with 86% of Republicans supporting the move, while 93% of Democrats, and this is the number for me, 61% of independents are against it. I know President Trump and them have to be watching those numbers. I would be religiously watching those numbers if I was President Trump, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm saying in my mind, I'm making all the right moves. I'm doing all the right things, but yet and still 61% of independents are against the National Guard troops. 61%. Look, maybe President Trump and them in their mind, they thinking, hey, Ghost, listen, ain't nobody going to be cool with sending the military in our streets. But if I just sprinkle them out there real quick and I pull them back real quick, then maybe if the people could see the crime has went down, then they could understand it, or maybe we can garner support for it. You see what I'm saying? But at this point, man, the majority of Americans, the vast majority of Americans are not for those troops. August the 27th, Trump's approval rating ticked up 5% to 45%. And his disapproval rating declined 5 points to 53% in the August the 21st through 25th Associated Press NORC poll compared to the group's July poll. So listen, man, you say, hey, his numbers goes. They said that it ticked up in this poll to 45%, but he's still underwater. His disapproval rating is at 53. So you got a Quinnipiac poll. This is an AP NORC poll. You see what I'm saying? The poll is the latest to show the majority of respondents from both parties. For a total of 81% say crime in large city is a major concern. So it seems like this crime conversation is the top conversation that we having. You know what I'm saying? Crime in major city is a major concern, even as violent crime declined 4.5% nationwide last year, according to FBI data, though fewer voters, 53%, approve of Trump's handling of crime, while 55% say it is completely or somewhat unacceptable for the federal government to take control of local police department, as Trump has done in Washington, D.C. and threatened to do in other major cities. Guys, as y'all come into the stream, I ask that y'all please like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all hit that notification bell. Also, guys, super chat, super thanks, super stickers. They start at 99 cents. So, guys, y'all could just hit the 3 buttons below if y'all see them at the bottom. Or if not, you guys can hit that button with the $sign in it, and your donations are much appreciated. Carlos said that 69%, you mean his disapproval rate? And it might be from poll to poll. It might be from poll to poll. It depends on what poll you look at, Carlos. But here's the thing about it. People are saying that, hey, look at President Trump before the elections. He's always losing in the polls, goes. But in the end, he always wins. But I'm doing this live stream to say the people, the American people, as they observe President Trump's administration, do they feel like President Trump is working for the people? What you guys think? Do you guys believe or feel? Keep them comments coming. Jump down in the comments. Let your voice be heard, man. This is what this is all about. We the people, man. Let me get out the way for a second. You know what I'm saying? We the people. It's about the lakes. It's about nature. It's about the cities. It's about America. America's so gorgeous. America the beautiful. But primarily, when we talk politics, it's about us. It's about the people. So I always want to know how the people feel, what the people think. Listen, I'm not a Republican. And Democrats, one of the things that they'll get so mad about is using the National Guard, because President Trump, it's like he's taking their power away. Does that make sense? He'll go in the city and the mayor, you got the governor, but they got state police, they got local police, they got county police, but he come in with the National Guard now. He's like, federalizing. I understand your concerns. But what I'm trying to say is the problem that we're having with crime, what's your solution? Democratic mayors, Democratic governors, and Republican mayors and Republican governors, all of America. What is our solution? What are the leaders' solution on crime? That's the question. Hey, News is talking to Benjamin. She says, I am in Australia. He doesn't make you look vulnerable. For people He looks crazier than Putin. We have no choice but to see the power of the U.S., and he is steering the ship. I'm going to pin that comments. Hey, Nude, thank you for that. Also, I seen somebody on here I wanted to say, let's see. We are going to suffer way more under this presidency. This is Benjamin's. He says, you are ridiculous. This is the problem with us. He has been disrespecting this country from the very beginning, and he is making the U.S. look like a joke and vulnerable to other countries. How do you guys feel about that? Thank you guys for that comments. I ask that y'all keep those comments coming. Y'all get down below. Y'all have the conversation. I'm doing a We the People tour, 46 days, 13 states, all over the great country, the great nation. You know what I'm saying? Boots on the ground, talking to the people, bringing y'all gorgeous content. I want to know how y'all feel, man. Real talk. President Trump's approval rating in the most recent Morning Consult poll was consistent with his survey last week that found that 47% approve of his job performance and 51% disapprove. Hold up. And all of the approvals or disapprovals are pointing to the Washington, D.C. crime crackdown. If you are any kind of, listen, if going into Washington, D.C., you know what I'm saying? I made the case, or I made statements to say that, you know what I'm saying, America has been militarizing this police department since the 90s. Police departments all over America has been buying tanks from the U.S. military since the 90s. So I'm thinking, because of the studies, you know what I'm saying, if I go outside and if I see a tank on the street, you know what I'm saying, that makes me feel a little uneasy. You feel that? But I say 90% of us regular citizens aren't committing a crime. What about when he see a tank on the street, the criminal who finna commit a crime, and he turn the corner and he see a tank, man, that make him feel uneasy too. You see what I'm saying? So my whole conversation was, maybe we could try something different outside the box. But what I'm saying is, if I was Stephen Miller or anybody advising President Trump, and I looked at these numbers, man, because it's always important that you plug in with the people. How does the people feel? What do the people think? And I'm saying we're going after poll after poll after poll. A total of 47% approve of his job performance. That's about how much of the electorate he got to win the election. And 49% disapprove. And this is a Harvard Caps Harris poll. 2025 registered voters taken between August the 20th and August the 21st with a 2.2% margin of error. So the best I've seen President Trump in any of this polls is right here, to where he's slightly not underwater. More than half of the voters, 54%, say Trump's federal takeover of Washington, D.C., police and his deployment of federal troops, that there is justified, as 56% of voters also say they have viewed typical large American cities as unsafe. Man, that's not that bad. And I think that's the reason why he jumped out there the way that he did, is because of right there. 54% say that his takeover of D.C. and police department is justified. That's in this Harvard poll, though. Because I'm going to say in most polls, they're going to say 54% say that it's unjustified. But what I'm saying is that we know that we have a crime problem in these large cities. So trying to be proactive to solve the problem, yeah, but Ghost, you don't be proactive by sending troops. Maybe you don't. Who knows? I'm not the president. I didn't win no elections. You see what I'm saying? Elections have consequences. So President Trump didn't say he was going to use the military. That was a big deal about that. I mean, a humongous deal about that. Y'all remember? He said he was going to use he said all this stuff he said he was going to do. People made a big deal about it, and they still voted for him. And he did all the stuff he said he was going to do. The only thing that I see that he really did not do, you know what I'm saying, is help the poor as much as he should. And I think that's what's going to get him in the end. I heard I forget the man's name. He's a senator. I like him too. I like both senators from South Carolina, just like I do the ones from Mississippi. But he said President Trump has made the streets safer. He's attempting to make the streets safer for poor Americans, and I give him that. I agree to that. I mean, making the attempt is the first step. Making the attempt is what gets Democratic governors on their P's. That's what happened with Governor Newsom. You know what I'm saying? President Trump and that LA and those troop deployments is caused Governor Newsom. He's come out with a plan to fight crime. And I think that is the most prevalent thing out of all this whole conversation. That's what needs to happen in every last one of these cities. You know what I'm saying? So look, if I'm the governor of Illinois and he said, hey, I'm finna bring the National Guards here, and I know that we have gotten crime down, I'm saying I'm gonna come out with a plan. I'm gonna deploy my own National Guard. If you know he coming and you want to keep control, why don't you beat him to the punch? I'm gonna deploy my own National Guard. I'm gonna get my own state police out there. That's how I would deal with that. You know what I'm saying? Because he's gonna come. So, I mean, you just got to get ahead of it. In my opinion, that's how I would do it. August the 18th. So we're going to go back a little further, a week further. It's always about, I should have started from the beginning, but this is how Forbes started the story. You know what I'm saying? It's always about the trend in the polls to me. It's not what the poll numbers say. We saw before the election, if you guys go back and watch the content, that at a certain point, the polls started trending towards President Trump. So it don't matter if the polls have VP Harris up by 4 or by 8, because people will look at those polls and they think that those polls are set in stone, but they really not. It's just a snapshot. They'll call people who don't answer the phone, regular voters. They'll call voters who not telling them really who they gonna vote. It goes all over the place. What I'm looking for is a trend. Where are the polls trending? If we're looking for 8 months in President Trump, the job he has done, where are the polls trending? Are they trending towards him? Or are they trending away from him? Let's look at August the 18th. So on August the 18th, President Trump's a 40% approval rating. And the latest, this is a Reuters poll, Reuters Ipsos poll, taken August the 13th through the 18th, is equal to his approval rating in the previous Reuters Ipsos poll, taken in July, representing a low point for his second term, though his disapproval rating has increased 2 points from July to 54%. This is the Reuters poll. Anytime I look at the poll, man, and I see that he is under 50%, it is not good, bruh. That means that according to this poll, that the majority of Americans are not approving of the job that he's doing. The Morning Consult's weekly survey found that President Trump's approval rating has improved 2 points since last week to 47, while 51% disapprove of his job performance, and that's from August the 15th through the 18th. Survey of 2,201 registered voters has a 2-point margin of error. In a contrast with this week, Reuters Ipsos polls, voters' perception of President Trump's foreign policy has improved from a negative 18 net approval to negative 13. Look, that to me right there is some huge news for President Trump. And I think that the job that they've been pretty much doing on foreign policy, I mean, I kind of agree with it as well. Would you not? Would you say you don't? You know what I'm saying? I'm saying 7 peace deals in 8 months. You don't think he's done a good job on that? I'm saying regardless of how you feel, look, I always have to say this. We all have our own opinions about a lot or a host of different things. I have my opinions. You have your opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, say if I seen some gentleman, I'm going to stand up for a second to illustrate. Okay? You might not could see it real good, but right back here, there's some grass right before that wood. So say I got a gentleman out here and I'm saying, hey, sir, will you come and you cut my grass for me? He say, yeah, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? And so I sit back and I watch the gentleman as he cutting the grass, and I'm like, man, the way he cutting that grass horizontal, he gonna leave lines in my yard. He cutting the grass wrong. I disapprove of that, the way he cutting the grass. I'm just sitting back watching him, though. I ain't saying nothing. And then when he finished cutting the grass, though, it's the best yard I've ever seen cut before, ever. But while he's cutting the grass and while I'm disapproving of the job that he's doing, I'm saying that you hearing the voters speak, like how I'm disapproving of them job, you hearing them speak with the disapproval rate. But my thing is while he's cutting the grass and doing the job, how can you really judge how good of a job he's doing until he's finished cutting the grass? Furthermore, whether I agree with the job that he's doing or not, I'm saying that if I see him out there, he working hard and he's sweating, he's trying, he's making that effort, whether I agree with the way that he's cutting that yard or not, I gotta at least admit that the effort is there. Can y'all follow that? So I'm saying, I try to find ways to explain this as if I wasn't an independent and I was just observing President Trump and the job he's doing. Does that make sense to you guys? I try to find a way to explain it as a Democrat. Say I'm a Democrat and I see him out there. I mean, you got to admit that the hustle is there for President Trump and his foreign policy, whether you agree with what he's doing or not, whether you agree with how he's handling Putin or not, whether you agree with how he's handling Ukraine and or Israel or not, or Palestine or not, whether you agree with it, it doesn't matter. I'm saying the hustle is there. The peace deals are there. He put out he put out fires. He stopped wars. So, yeah, I could see that in that Reuters Ipsos poll that the foreign policy went from -18 to -13. So basically, great job, President Trump, on foreign policy. Let me see what A News says. She said, who was the second choice? Kamala, grass will be out of control. Hey, y'all hear that? That's what A News is saying. That's her opinion. That's how she feels. How many of you guys in this stream, y'all feel like that? You know what I'm saying? If you feel like that VP Harris, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to stop for a second and talk about it. We're not getting off the subject. We're still talking about the people and whether or not the people approve of President Trump's job or not, yada, yada, yada. The question is, if VP Harris would have won the election, do you guys believe that America would be in good shape or bad shape right now? Would America be in better shape than it is or in worse shape than it is? That's the question. Because A News saying the option with VP Harris, she's saying that it would be in worse shape. Me personally, I personally think A News that she would have done a great job. It's just a different job and a different style that she would have done than President Trump. But I think she would have done a good job. That's just me personally. But I mean, we all have different opinions and different, you know what I'm saying, just depending on what you believe in and your approach. It's just that I'm not as A New, and I'm gonna get right back to the content. A New, I'm not as, I would say, I want to look the right way to say this. I'm not as particular about the details and how you do the job, because I understand the playing field. I understand the game. The game is politics. And in politics, you have a million different opinions. If you understand politics and the study of people as an independent, I think most independents, most political scientists who are independents, they're going to feel like I feel. Because I give this example all the time. So say right now I'm on the western shore of Lake Michigan, okay? And Detroit is clean across the state, on Lake Erie. 200 miles, 300 miles away. Bro, there's 5 ways you could get to Detroit. So this is how y'all Republicans and Democrats do. The Republicans say, hey, if you don't go right, you on the wrong road. The Democrats say if you don't go left, you on the wrong road. Me personally, I'm going to just sit there in Detroit and I'm going to wait. And if the person gets to Detroit, the politician getting to the spot on time, then the way they do it is irrelevant when it comes to the American people. You don't believe that? You think the American people really care about a Republican or Democrat? Some of them do, the base. But I'm talking about the majority of the American people. Bro, let me tell you something. You think that people would care that President Trump, what if you woke up tomorrow and gas was $1.50 a gallon? You see what I'm saying? I mean, even if you were a Democrat, you woke up, they'll be mad. They'll have something to say. I'm talking about the ones who's deep into it. But I'm saying you as a Democratic voter, you woke up and gas was $1.50 a gallon. You went to the store and that steak you would buy for $30 is now $8. Your kid went to register for college and they supposed to pay $33,000 a year for tuition, and that tuition was $18,000. Because I think that's the biggest thing for an American voter is affordability. The biggest thing is the access to the American dream. So when we heard VP Harris talking about that, the method for her to convince the voters running against a president who was just president when things were cheaper, that is a very difficult task to do. Immigration is a problem that Americans cared about, but they didn't care about it as much as what happened in 2022 when everything, the food prices, everything, inflation. So that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Like, y'all bicker about how you get there. But if we have a president who was like Bill Clinton, who was adored by Republicans, who reached across the aisle and worked with Republicans, and President Trump feels like he can't or don't have to work with Republicans, what I'm trying to say is that the American people are not going to care if it's a Republican or a Democrat who leads them to the promised land. If you a Democrat and a Republican cannot say you had an oracle who came down that you knew was telling you the truth, and he said a Republican can't get you there. And say if you was a Republican, you see what I'm saying? Are you gonna care that it's a Democrat who gets us where we need to go? That's the question, guys. Make sure y'all double tap the screen for me, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell, guys. Tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Eastern time, I am premiering We the People, guys. So make sure that y'all hit that notification bell and y'all show up, show some support, show some love. You know what I'm saying? My girl A New says, I am not dogmatic. I expect both sides to do their best. I hate saying I am a fence setter, but there is both sides of good and crazy. And that is true, Anu. 10,000%. 20,000%. She says in any country, affordability when people are sleeping in tents matters. We pay $40 for a steak that we export and buy in another country for $20. The craziness is worldwide, brother. So she's saying that's happening in Australia as well. You know what I'm saying? She's saying it's happening in Australia as well. Affordability is where it's at. That's everything to do with politics right now. The access to the American dream, or as A New say, the access to the Australian dream. As a foreign supporter of the channel, I appreciate you, A New. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole conversation. In my opinion, that's the whole conversation for any politician, really, since the beginning of time. If we have a situation where we're in a war and we need a leader or a leadership through that situation, or maybe we are going through a Great Depression, or like when President Obama stepped in the Great Recession, and we need like some sort of leader, that's a different situation than what I'm really talking about. Y'all feeling that? If we need a certain leader for a certain situation, that's completely different than what I'm really talking about. It's all about the people, man. It comes down to who is doing what for the people. And if we looking at two leaders and regular times in America, I promise you that what else would you pick a president for? Somebody let me know. Why are we choosing leaders or presidents? I'm saying, think about how long America has been like to where we're like in this situation, okay? To where it seems like we're confused about if we're going to go left or right all the time, arguing, debating, bickering, whatever. What I'm trying to ask you guys is, What if we had a leader who didn't care about none of that stuff? All he cared about was helping the people. Because in my opinion, that is all that matters. For in America, I knew I'm not sure about Australia, but I'm saying in America, it matters what. Look, the local politicians, in my opinion, there's different things that, you know what I'm saying, they pretty much setting the policy in the community in your daily life. But that president to me, you know what I'm saying? Like people look at him to see if he can provide an easier pathway for them to achieve their goals. And I think that's what that is all about. Guys, make sure y'all double tap the screen, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell. Also, guys, super chats, super thanks, and super stickers. They start at 99 cents, guys. You can hit that button with that $ in it, and your donations are much appreciated. Channel memberships, guys, they're $2.99, guys. So, guys, you guys could go ahead and hit that button with that $ in it. Your donations are appreciated. Let your boy get out the way for just a second, man. And I'm going to let y'all enjoy the beautiful scenery out here in Michigan on the lake. Guys, we're not finished. We're going to be right back, guys, and we get right back to content in just a second. Man, oh man. So I hope you guys enjoying the beautiful out here, man, on the lake in Michigan, man. We talking about, is President Trump for or against the people? Guys, if y'all have not liked the video, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. What's up, Miss Kathy? So guys, let's keep going. So we started with President Trump's approval rating, okay, from the latest poll, and we looking to see the movement in his poll. So we're going to go to August the 12th. So President Trump's net approval rating improved slightly in the poll from the Economist YouGov survey on August the 12th. You know what I'm saying? I think that's before the DC deployment. Okay. It was conducted on August the 9th through the 11th, but compared to his August the 1st through the 4th poll, it shows that 42% approve of his job performance and 54 disapprove. And that's a 2-point uptick with 1,635 US adults with a margin of error. So what I'm saying to that, I got to watch for the wildlife be out here. So what I'm saying to that, you guys, is that for President Trump, his numbers from August, 1st through the 4th, that's going off for the job performance that he was doing in July. So whatever he was doing to the point of July, the numbers we saw increase. If you ask me personally, if you ran that poll, and you took out that DC deployment, what you guys think President Trump's numbers would be? Let me ask you this in a different way, excuse me. If we were in a situation, okay, to where you had President Trump doing everything he did on the economy, but he wasn't deploying troops or he wasn't doing anything that would cause him to get sued or be put in court. I'm saying, what you think his approval numbers would be? Because I'm saying, looking at President Trump, I'm just looking at mainly what he's doing on the economy, and I think it's a good job. What he's doing to stop the wars in the world, I think that's a great job as well. I think legacy will remember him well on those two issues. How he deals with domestic issues, domestic controversy, domestic chaos. I think that's what's getting him. The August the 11th, Trump's approval rating was stagnant for a second week in a row at a 45% record low for his second term in Morning Consult's latest weekly survey. Okay, so we've seen a trend in these polls, man. You know what I'm saying? A trend in these polls. The Economics YouGov survey found 68% of respondents say they believe the government is covering up evidence about Epstein. We ain't even talk about Jeffrey. But I think talking about Jeffrey, I think that's part of the problem as well. What y'all think? You think talking about Jeffrey hurts President Trump's approval rate? You know what I'm saying? That's what, this is what it's about, man. We all Americans, man. We let our voices be heard. And the question is do you think that President Trump's approval rating is hurt or help about the conversation on Jeffrey Epstein? That's the question. August the 8th, the president's net approval rating increased by 0.4%. That's 1,700 U.S. adults. 41% approving, and that's that same Economist YouGov poll. But most people said they believe the government is covering up stuff about Jeffrey Epstein. President Trump is a part of the government. As a matter of fact, President Trump is a leader of the government. So what you guys think? Do you think that's hurting him? That story? I don't see how it could be helping him. You know what I'm saying? Do you think this is a major reason for the decline in his approval rating? Let's see. Let's go back to August 4th. Trump's approval rating declined to 38%. Golly, man. His disapproval rating increased to 58%. Listen, this is so important, okay? It is real important. I talked about this yesterday. I'm going to do a story on this on Saturday. We're doing a whole live stream about this Saturday, so we build into this, okay? Tomorrow, guys get a vlog. I keep telling y'all, 8 a.m. Eastern Time. United States for you, new. That's 8 a.m. Eastern Time. We the people. It's a brand new vlog. I did interviews and everything, okay? Now, look, there was just a special election in Iowa. It was last week. It's for a state Senate seat. So you can't go look for the person in the national election. She ran for a state Senate seat in Iowa. If we look at the map as a political scientist, she was running in the district that President Trump won. Listen, W-O-N. She ran in a district that President Trump won by 11 points. She won it by 10. So let me say this again. We in a district, okay, that President Trump won by 11 points. So we would look at that district and we would say, hey, that's a safe red district, right? If you look at any district where a candidate ran by, he painted it red. He won it by 11. So we know the voters in this community by 10 or 11 points, whatever the exact number is, we know they're primarily Republican. She is a Democrat and she won it by 10. So she painted that same district blue in less than 8 months. I hadn't looked at no polls or no approval rating because me personally, it's like I'm seeing the job he's doing. So it's like, do I think he's doing a good or bad job? In my mind as a voter, I'm going to say, oh, he's doing a good job. You know what I'm saying? So how many of us look at polls after approval? See, most of us don't do that. Political pundits do that. I wouldn't have did it today, but I want to get a feel or a sense of how good President Trump is doing or how the people feel he's doing in America. Even on the ground, boots on the ground, talking to the people, it's hard to get that sense because when you bump into somebody, usually they're either a Republican or they're usually a Democrat. And the ones who aren't either, a lot of times they don't want to talk about it. So it's hard to get the feel. I know the general sense of the majority of the Americans in the 13 states that I've been to and the people that I've talked to in the different cities, I know the general sense that they have. And because I know that general sense that they have, that's why I always preach affordability. Because everybody I talk to, that's what you're going to come down to, is whether or not they believe they have access to the American dream, and they're going to consistently cast their votes accordingly. If you give them a candidate like a Barack Obama who can exude hope or make them believe that they will have an opportunity at the American dream. But I think that's what it's all about, man. Let's continue. August the 4th, we're going to look at a UMass poll, 1,000 residents in Massachusetts, 38% approval rate. Well, you say, we don't care nothing about that. It's a UMass poll. Let's keep going. August the 4th, the morning consult poll. This is key right here. This is key right here. Listen to me. This is key right here. We did all those polls. None of that mattered. We've been streaming for 55 minutes. None of that matters. This right here is key. Because when I'm looking at numbers, I know numbers, it's hard for numbers to lie. They can be deceptive, but it's hard for them to lie. You say, Ghost, you over there acting like a madman. What you saying is key. August the 4th, President Trump's approval rating dipped 2 points to 45%. In the morning consult weekly poll of 2,200 registered voters conducted August 1st through 3rd, while 42% disapproved. Why is that key, Ghost? Scroll up. Scroll up. That's a morning consult poll, right? Y'all follow me. I know this might not be the most interesting thing in the world, but we talking about numbers. But this is how I get a feel. I don't have to listen to no legacy media pundit or no pundit or whatever you call them on YouTube or on anywhere. I could do it myself. I'm teaching you how to do it. This is how we doing it. Okay? So we're going to go back down and we're going to look at this according to Forbes now, okay? All this content is published by Forbes on August the 27th. So we'll go back to the morning consult poll on August 4th, 2,200 registered voters. What's different in this poll than what I've seen in all the polls previously is President Trump was not underwater with the voters. You see what I'm saying? Only 45% of the people disapproved in this poll. 45%. Why is that important? Because if you take that same poll, let me go back and find it, okay? Let me go back and find it. Okay? That same poll, 42% disapproval rating, right? That's morning consult, August 1st through the 3rd. he wasn't under Warner. Let's look at that same morning consult poll right now. Okay, let's go down, let's scroll. I know I seen that morning consult poll, the newest one. Let's look at it. August 25th. Okay, so August the 1st through August the 3rd, same company, same poll, same everything. They polled the voters. Okay, when they polled the voters, 2,200 registered voters, they found that President Trump's disapproval rating was at 45%. It wasn't above 50. Now, that same poll, the same company on August the 25th, 3 weeks later, they did the approval rating. And when they looked at his approval rating this time, 47% approve of his job and 51% disapprove. That's a 6-point swing in 3 weeks. That's a 6-point swing in 3 weeks. If I was advising any leader, I would say that would be alarming at the most. But if you were Stephen Miller, or if you were one of President Trump's most trusted, closest advisors, I think you would say, hey, Ghost, listen, we've dealt with polls the entire time with President Trump, and he's always won, and they've always been wrong. We know that the American cities need to be cleaned up. At the federal government, we're trying to do our immigration thing too. They're trying to block us in these sanctuary cities. So I made a campaign promise to do this, Ghost, and that's what I'm doing. I really believe that's where President Trump is coming from. But my point to the entire situation, or what I'm trying to say is that, man, oh man, it does not look like the American people approve of that National Guard deployment. Because you say whatever you want to say. You can say whatever you want to say. In this same poll, he dropped 6 points. I seen polls, man, I ain't even got into it, that he ain't at 38%. It's September the 1st. They doing these polls every week. We'll get to it in the end. So he didn't slip. Let me do this real quick. Because y'all see, I just showed you a 6-point drop in that morning consult poll in 3 weeks. What has happened in 3 weeks to cause a 6-point drop? So what we're going to do right now, guys, we're going to look for a morning consult poll, okay? President. Look, somebody might say that they're biased in the morning consult. Maybe they are. Bias or no bias, it swung 6 points. That's what I'm saying. That's what I was trying. Maybe political scientist wasn't the best political scientist, but he told me President Trump was going to win the election when no one else told me that he was going to win. Okay, so understand that. Let that be understood. But that's what he told me. The polls, listen, who conducting the polls? Men and women, right? Men lie, women lie. Numbers, they rarely lie. So the men and women that's conducting the polls, they might have a bias, just like you saying. That might be correct. Excuse me, y'all. But what I'm saying is them same people at morning consult, who gave you that, who have a bias, August the 1st through the 3rd, those 2,200 people, they found that you weren't underwater in your approval rate. But that same bias, 3 weeks later, now you underwater. But you can say what you want to. There's an event or something that happened that caused that swing. If you see it in one poll, and then you see it in 2 polls, and you see it in 3 polls, let me stop right now. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, excuse me, this is in my eyes. Let's look at before we do the morning consult, let's go ahead and look at that, and then I want to kill to let you know, are the people feeling the job that President Trump is doing? You see what I'm saying? Forget the Republicans, forget the Democrats, forget the pundits. Are the people approving? We the people, do we approve of President Trump's job? Okay, so look, right now, hold on. Let me take this back. We looking for approval rating, okay? Approval rating. Let's go and see if we can get it, okay? Morning Consult, President Trump's approval rating, all 50 states. That's from August the 12th. That's probably the information that's in the Forbes magazine. I'm trying to see if we can get a more recent one that happened today, but we cannot. You know what I'm saying? So that's the latest poll. The latest poll showed a 6-point shift in the Morning Consult. And we're going to go over all the other polls. And as we go over all the other polls, if we seeing President Trump slipping, if I could advise him on that National Guard thing, I would say that if I would just wait on it, or I would try to find a different way to conduct that. I'm just saying, me personally, that's what I would do. Because from what I'm saying it just looks like that the majority of the people just do not approve of that job. And that's pretty much what that is. But look, what I'm going to do is right now, okay, just to be fair, okay, we're going to look. So some people are saying that the Morning Consult have a bias against President Trump. What you guys think? Maybe they do. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for a poll in which we can gauge his approval rating. You see what I'm saying? And we could say that there might not be a bias. What's a poll that you guys think that we could look up President Trump's approval rating and see if there isn't a bias? What you guys think? Frank Ocean. You know what I'm saying? What you guys think? Man, listen, D. Bryant, I would just like to say this. I'm going to pin that because I just want you guys to know that I do not support that at all. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people cheering about President Trump's health or decline in health. I do not support that at all. I didn't support him when they did it with President Biden. They stayed on President Biden and his mental or cognitive ability. I didn't support that, man. You know what I'm saying? The Americans know, I think as Americans, what we need to do is we need to consider putting an age limit on candidates who run for office. That's what we should do. I think we should together be more, how you want to say this, more mature about it, and see that we don't keep getting in a situation where we have these old candidates just saying that, oh, ha, 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 he's about to die, ha, 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 he's about to die. I'm saying, who mocking and laughing at people when they're about to die? To me, that is just the most crazy. That's crazy and insane for real. But look, so I wanted to ask you guys, what's a poll that we can use to where you guys would trust that there isn't a bias on his approval rating, okay? So look, let me look up a few conservative polls. I'm not going to say no names. I'm going to just put conservative polls into the search bar so you guys could, you know what I'm saying, say that I'm not, whatever. So we got Real Clear Polling. That's the first poll that came up as a conservative polls. I know of other conservative polls. I'm going to just see Real Clear Politics. That's a conservative poll. So let's use Real Clear Politics. So let's look up Real Clear Politics, okay? President Trump's current approval rating, Real Clear Politics. And let's see. Let's see if Real Clear Politics, if they're gonna give us anything. USA Today, Yahoo, Real Clear Policy. I'm not seeing it in here, guys. But I'm looking though. I'm looking. The only one I see in here is from January 25th. Let me do this. We're gonna go somewhere else and we're gonna look, guys. Guys, as y'all come into the stream, make sure y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. Also, guys, super chat, super stickers, super thanks. They start at 99 cents. There's a button with those three dots in it. Make sure you hit the button. Your donations are much appreciated. Guys, make sure y'all like the video. Y'all bear with me for a second. We're looking for conservative polls, okay? And we're looking for President Trump's approval rate. President Trump approval rate, okay? Because we're going to make sure we clear that bias out. Say for instance, a hypothetical or wild situation. You know what I'm saying? Say for instance, you know what I'm saying? Say for instance that we had to do like advise President Trump, or we had to tell him, okay, President Trump, do we think that this policy is good or this policy is bad? Okay. So August of 2025, that YouGov poll is 72% of them are very conservative. So we're looking for YouGov, Pew Research, and Gallup. See if we could get a Gallup poll and see let's look at a Gallup poll real quick. Y'all excuse me. Let's see. We looking for Gallup poll, President Trump's approval rating. Give me just a second, y'all, okay? Now, this 5 days ago, okay? They're not going to do this on no liberal media. They're probably not going to do it on the conservative media. Yeah, they're not going to. Definitely. I don't care what you say. They're not going to. You know what I'm saying? They're going to run the polls that they had. Why wouldn't I run the polls that I had? I got 10 polls. You know what I'm saying? So with them 10 polls, why don't I run them 10 polls? You know what I'm saying? But look, let me show you something. So the new Gallup poll shows a 3-point swing in President Trump's approval rating. This is according to August the 26th. Okay. So President Donald Trump received a boost in his approval rating, according to the newest Gallup poll. The Gallup poll found that 40% of Americans improved of his job performance in August, up 3 points since the poll was taken in July. So in July, according to Gallup, he was in the high 30s. You say, Ghost, why would you trust that? I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to say, which poll would you trust in which? Okay, so look, all of those polls, we see that President Trump is underwater, right? Yeah, we see all those polls. But I'm saying all those polls had him underwater. He won the election. But Gallup is different. Gallup is different. Let's look at Gallup. The Gallup poll said 40% approved. How many people are disapproved, though? Let's see how many disapproved. The similarity between President Trump's overall job approval ratings and his rating on the economy is more in line with how the two metrics typically relate for presidents than was the case during Trump's first term, the Gallup analysis says. In those years, we ain't concerned with those years. We concerned with these years. You know what I'm saying? So look, in the Gallup poll, though, his approval rating is a lot higher. Look, let me see, because Gallup, they're not telling me how many people disapprove. I mean, you would assume 60%, but that's not necessarily the case. You know what I'm saying? So we're looking for the disapproval, because that's what I look for. That disapproval number matters. You know what I'm saying? Let's look to Gallup. Gallup got another poll here in July. And in July, let's see what Gallup talking about. Hold on, real quick, y'all. It's loading. That President Trump's approval was at 37%. That's what I just said. You know what I'm saying? But let's look in Gallup. What his disapproval is. His favorability was at 41%. Bro, Gallup had independence rating of President Trump down to 29% in July. I'm going to say that one more time. Independents had President Trump's rating at 29% approval. It's their all-time low. This is according to Gallup. That is so alarming. Y'all see how I did that? You cannot argue with that. The majority of Americans at this point in President Trump's term, they do not approve of the job that he's doing. We the people. What are we the people saying? You say, Ghost, the majority of Americans did not elect President Trump. You know what I'm saying? He only got 47% of the vote. It was because of the Electoral College, once again, that he's president. Well, maybe so. Maybe so. But if you ask the question, I gave y'all the answer, I gave y'all the content, there's no sense, man. And us getting down and diving deep, Brandon, I feel you, baby, and I understand that. But that's just what it is. I mean, I started with the morning you go of polls. Bro, let me pull up the polls, the data that I go over. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm saying if you go to Fox News, they're gonna give you their poll. They got their own poll, and that's all they're gonna tell you. Whatever we're gonna look at, let's look at all the polls, okay? We're gonna look at Fox. They're gonna look at their own poll. That's what Fox gonna do. That's what CNN gonna do. That's what CNNBC gonna do. They gonna poll the people themselves. I mean, in a way, you could kind of say that's what I'm doing. I'm not doing a poll, but boots on the ground, shaking people's hand, talking to them state to state about politics. You could say I'm getting a feel like that, not like a poll. But look at these polls. We talking about Quinnipiac. Y'all say, oh, okay, they biased. Okay. So you say the Associated Press, they biased. Okay. Who else? We got Gallup. August 26th, Gallup. August the 26th in the Gallup poll, President Trump's disapproval rating. His disapproval rating was at 56%. That's a Gallup poll. That's a Republican poll. That Gallup poll is the same poll where all the rest of the polls was saying that he was losing. That Gallup poll was saying that he was winning. That's the same poll, that Gallup poll, when everybody else said he was losing, said he was winning. I'm saying, if you look at the conservative polls, you look at this poll, you look at all the polls, he's underwater in approval rating. The majority of Americans disapprove of the job he's doing. That's trending in the wrong direction. What goes, where I come on here and I'm stamping that with the we the people, saying that the majority of the people is that election last week in Iowa that stamped it for me. If I look at a map, say if I'm in Texas, right, and we redrew the district, so I got the districts redrawn, okay? And with the redrew district, if I look at a map and I say, hey, this district is redrawn, we redrawn this district, so we got President Trump plus 11 right here in this district. That's a safe red district. Look, you'll redraw a district to plus 11. Once you redraw a district to plus 11, you don't know what that means. Say you playing a basketball game and they say, we're going to spot you 11 points. That's what that is. Are you playing a football game and they say, we're going to spot you 11 points? That's what that is. So you'll redraw a district to plus 11 in your favor and you still lost it by 10 points. That's what I'm talking about. You redraw a district. They didn't redraw that district in Iowa. But I'm just saying those districts might not be safe either. Because if I, as a political scientist, look at a map and say President Trump won this district 4 years ago plus 11, then, hey, maybe he'll lose, but maybe the Republican will win by 2. That's what we're thinking. It's the safe red district. That's what that means. Republican might win by 15. Which way the district swing? Okay, we expect all of America to swing back to the left. If you don't know that yet, you crazy. If you think the Democratic Party is dead, you crazy. Just go study your history. This happens every 4 to 8 years. That's what America do, left or right. Look, I'm in the state of Michigan. This state voted for President Trump last election. 4 years before that, this same state voted for Barack Obama. Joseph Biden. 4 years before that, this same state voted for Donald Trump. And 4 years before that, they voted for Barack Obama 2 times. You get that? It's gonna swing. So you in the red now, but it's gonna swing back left. But what I'm saying is a swing after 8 months. Listen, if I sat down at a job and I'm saying you giving me a job to do, I got a job to do. And you give me my metrics for my job. And so say I did the metrics for that job and everything. And even after the metrics and everything looked good on the job, I'm saying that you go out there and you ask the people, how am I doing? And they say, not good. That's very alarming. Very, for a Republican. I don't think the redistricting map is going to help you. You see what I'm saying? You taking a blue district and you redrawing the map to put Republicans in it. So if you got a district like Al Green, where he a solid Democrat, in the state of Texas with a name and he's known. And I'm saying, even if you redraw it to make President Trump plus 11, I'm saying, looking at that right there, you could still lose that district. Redrawing it, you could still lose it. Okay? And we're not even getting into all the listen, some of the things that he's done that people will feel or that will affect his presidency, we hadn't even got into it yet. Let me look for it. I was reading it in here. You know what I'm saying? The Jeffrey Epstein is hurting him. You know what I'm saying? That situation, affordability, of course, is hurting him. But I just wanted to show y'all this because I think this right here is real important. 56% disapprove to how he's handling the Jeffrey Epstein. That's the Economist YouGov. You know what I'm saying? This is the most important thing right here. Because this poll, you see how this, bro, this Forbes story is a humongous story, but it's two things that I wanted to see. I looked to see if in these polls, if I looked at these polls and every last one of these polls, he was never above water. He always had a 50%, because if you look at the electorate, he got 47% of the vote. Well, that's not over 50%, right? Well, VP Harris got less than that. Well, where'd the other vote go? Oh, independents. Oh, he only got 47%. Ghost, he got 48. What he got? 49. I know he didn't get over 50% of the vote. So because you know he didn't get over the 50% of the vote, you could tell yourself, you could say, hey, he didn't get over 50% of the vote, then, you know what I'm saying? Like, more than 50% of the people aren't going to support him. So he might have a negative approval rating. That is true. But I'm saying in the polls, it started where he didn't have a negative approval rate. The only people need to be careful is President Trump in there, because you're going to get cream crop next year. That's what's going to happen. You got to learn to listen, get wax out your ears and see what's really happening, and stop trying to frame stuff to where you're going to go and try to see the truth, because you're going to be crying in September or next November. You're going to be crying. You can't frame the American people, and they sitting there looking at what's going on and they don't like it. Shut your mouth and do something about it. They don't like it. You imagine if you was at a job and your boss say, I disapprove of your job, and you gonna come say, careful, don't say that out loud. Are you stupid? You gonna get fired, dummy. You can't say nothing about stupid. That's stupid. If I'm looking and saying my boss don't approve of my job that I'm doing, I'm gonna adjust or don't adjust. And watch what happens. You're gonna lose 11-point districts because you can't listen. You gotta learn to listen. If you putting troops in that city and the people say we don't want them there, keep doing it and watch what's gonna happen. Keep doing it. You gotta learn to listen. You ain't running nothing. You don't listen. There ain't one politician that don't run nothing. Understand that. The military is running this. That politician ain't running nothing. I'm trying to help you. You gotta learn to listen to the people. Because if you don't learn to listen to the people, that military, they're going to listen to the people, bro. I promise you they are. They're going to keep order and stability, but they understand the game. The game is the people. So if the people don't like what you're doing, oh, don't talk about that, be careful. And the whole time you being careful, you got a 2% approval rating, stupid. You ain't never going to win. You going to let your approval rating drop down to 2%? Saying careful? Bro, they would have been and got rid of you. They gonna been and get rid of you, bro. That's what I'm saying. You gotta listen to the people, bro. The people elected you. They your boss. So you need to have people analyzing these numbers. If somebody hating on President Trump, we understand the hatred. You see, John said King Trump. You know what I'm saying? Listen, well, I think I was leaving Indiana and I was coming to Michigan. I'm in a small town in Michigan and I see people protesting no kings all over America. No, it's a small town, rural America. If you ask me, I'm going to say, look, I'm going to do what he doing. Real talk. If I was Steve, I would advise him to do what he's doing. That's what I would do. So don't act like this is about me. Because if all you got to do is listen to the live streams, he trying to think outside the box and he trying to raise awareness on crime. What's wrong with that? You see what I'm saying? You asking me, I'm telling you that's what I would do. But it's not about me. I'm not the boss. I don't care if it's what's best for America. If the people are saying we don't want to do that, what's best for America? What's best for America? We do A, B, or C. We don't want to do that. What you gonna do? You gonna do what's best, or you gonna do what the people want to do? Because they the boss. What if you on a job and you got a real important job and you know your next task is what's best for your job, but your boss say don't do that? What you gonna do? You gonna do it anyway? That's what I'm saying. I'm saying where I'm wrong at. It ain't nothing to be. The only thing to be careful about is how you governing. That's because I'm saying the people. You gon' it's little small signs. We saw a district in Florida when he first got elected. We saw them districts swinging 20 points to the left. That is very alarming. You cannot draw a map that's going to swing 20 points in your to your favor. If that electorate is swinging mostly 20 points, you can't draw that to your favor. You can't redistrict that to your favor. So that means you're going to get cream crop. So you know what you do to stop yourself from getting cream crop? You see what's going on and you put your ears to the ground with the people and what's going on. Look, this is what I want to tell you before. You know what I'm saying? So this is the biggest thing to me, okay? Because I seen two polls. I know Gallup, you know what I'm saying, but somebody's saying bias, so we gon', but still, I broke that down. Gallup still got him negative underwater. Gallup got him underwater. Okay? I'm talking about more than if he got 47% of the vote. I'm saying the same Gallup poll, he not getting that in that same Gallup poll. If he got 48%, he not getting that either. Let's keep going, though, okay? So let's go to July 16th, okay? And I'm using this because this CNN poll, because of what they're saying. Listen to what I'm saying. A total of 42% approve of President Trump's job performance. This is CNN poll in July, while 58% disapprove, okay? 1,057 residents. It was July 10th through the 13th. Margin of error, 3.5. It represents a 1-point improvement in President Trump's approval rating since April. So that was better, even though those numbers are kind of low. This is what I want to get to. Tom Tillis. This is what I want to get to. The majority, 61% of Americans said they oppose President Trump's signature bill that will pay for tax breaks and additional border. Bro, that is horrible. 61% oppose it. You say that's a CNN poll, but this is what I'm trying to tell you, because they might say CNN is biased. You know what I'm saying? They might say CNN said VP Harris had a good, but this is my point. The 61% that oppose, in part by cutting Medicaid. Cut Medicaid and Medicare. My question is, right? We just chilling, we just living. You have a certain percentage of people who support President Trump. You have a certain percentage of people who don't support President Trump. My question is what happens when them insurance, that Medicaid and them Medicare cuts it? And the food stamp cuts it. What happens then? And your approval rating already in the 30s. I'm not hating. Anybody who knows me knows I'm not hating at all. I'm not a hater. I'm not hating. Look at John Toomey's comment. John, are you still in here? John, are you a Republican or a Democrat? Can I ask you that question? Or have you always been a Republican, or have you always been a Democrat, John? That's my question. That's my question. Are you Republican, John, or are you a Democrat? Which one? R or D? Which one? He an independent. 20, according to Gallup, bruh, you got 81% of independents do not support what you did, bruh. You're going to get cream cropped in the election with that. 80% of independents are against you. In the conservative polls, you underwater by more than 5 or 6 points. But at the same time, though, if we look at polls in July, they approved of what happened in July. The polls in August, I'm saying, listen, this is if I had some advice, I'm not up there, I'm not advising him. You know what I'm saying? I think the only way that you be successful with doing this is you have to work with Democrats. If you don't want to work with them, in my opinion, you got to have conversations with them. Because now where we stand at is if I'm saying, and I'm advising you, President Trump, and I'm saying that the National Guard and those deployments is repulsing the people, is declining your support, President Trump. If I'm saying that, I can't say that we need to use troops in U.S. cities no more. I can't say that. Because I think doing that, President Trump, I think that's hurting him. I think that hurts you. You know what I'm saying? I think that hurts you, President T. I couldn't advise you to use troops in cities no more. I couldn't do it. Because when you did that in August, man, and the people, they're repulsed by that. You know what I'm saying? What you guys think, man? Y'all get them comments jumping. Y'all have a conversation amongst yourselves. Should we continue to use troops in American cities to make them safe, or should we go a different direction? What you guys think? You know what I'm saying? Make sure you guys have liked the video. Double tap that screen for your boy. Show some support. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell. Also, guys, super chats, super thanks, super stickers. They start at 99 cents. You know what I'm saying? There's 3 buttons down below where John Toomey's comment is. Or you guys could hit that button with that $sign in on the lower left. Your donations will be much appreciated. Guys, I'm going to give it just a second, man. I'm going to jump right back in it, man. I'm out here in Michigan, man. You know what I'm saying? It's so gorgeous out here, man. Y'all see the fish jumping off the water? If y'all got questions for me right now, y'all could shoot. The Easy Truth said, am I a Trump voter? No, I'm not a Trump voter. If you ask if I ever supported President Trump pre-election, no, I did not. Do I support him right now? Yes, I do. And a lot of things that he does, I do support him. I think President Trump is a winner. I think he wins on a lot of things that yeah, I really do. I think he wins on a lot of things that he should. Putting a tariff on the whole world. The court struck that down. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying he was winning on that. Ask how many billions of dollars he made the United States of America off that. To me, that's a W. The American consumers, they didn't, you know what I'm saying, have to pay much extra money, but obviously the court struck it down. It probably hurt some businesses or something. Probably put some people out of business. The court, if you show the court a lot of damages, that's what they're there to do, is to indemnify people. You know what I'm saying? So it's just the style and it's the way that President Trump is doing. But every shot you take, you can miss it or make it. Every shot, anybody shoot. A Democrat shooting could miss or make this. A Republican shooting could miss or make this. So I'm saying he makes a lot of shots. That's all I'm saying. His shooting percentage is high. So if you ask if I like him, yeah. If I'm gonna go get a shooter, if I need a 3-point shooter, I'm gonna go get Steph Curry. He's a good shooter. And if President Trump played basketball, his shooting percentage would be very high. He makes a lot of shots. That's facts. That's just my opinion, if you ask my opinion. But you know what I'm saying? It ain't about my opinion. Y'all throw the questions. It ain't about my opinion. It's about the people. We, the people. And according to a Gallup poll, which you cannot say bias, he's underwater. Gallup got him at like 42, 43%. That's not that bad. But them other polls got him in the low 30s. I'm not particularly paying attention to them other polls, but I'm saying he's under the number that he got in the White House with. After 8 months, that could be expected. You see what I'm saying? But it's something to keep an eye on. And I'm saying it's been a big swing in August. You think about all the people that he fired when he first came into office, right? What that was in January, right? In February. Look at his poll numbers then. I'm only doing this because we the people. I usually don't do a presidential approval rating kind of stream, or I wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? I'm approve. I'm as an individual voter. I see what he's doing and I approve or disapprove of what he's doing. I don't need to look at a poll. But I'm saying for me to get the heartbeat of the people, I got to go investigate the numbers. And looking at the numbers, I'm saying I don't think the people like those troops in the cities. So you could take that one or two ways, okay? If the people don't like the troops in the city, you could take it one or two ways. You could go out there and explain what you're doing. Who thought of that? Where the genius at who thought of that? You could go out there and explain to the people what you're doing. You could do that. Oh, you ain't got nobody. The President Trump don't have the health to do it. Well, get JD to go out there and do it. He talks good. He speaks real well. He's a very intelligent young man. Get him to go. Well, Marco probably busy. Get a surrogate to go out there. I seen Secretary Noam yesterday. She looking and talking real good. You feel me? Get her to go. I seen her out there talking about it. Tom Homan, get them. You got a whole team full administration that they've been with you for 8 months. And most of these Secretary Noam was a governor of a state. She know what's going on. Get them to go out there and do it. You know what I'm saying? If you want to keep using the troops, or you saying we need the troops to protect this and all that, I'm saying the people don't like it though, so you got to do something. You could stop using the troops. That would be the safest thing to do. If you feel like you need to keep using the troops and keep having those court battles and spats, I think you need to get out there with the people, do some town halls, explain yourself what you're doing. That's all I'm saying. Explain yourself what you're doing, because if not, man, I'm saying the people, like, they overwhelmingly do not approve. Because I don't see nothing else that he did in August besides the stock market hitting the roof. That's what I'm looking at, the economy. That's what I think the key issues are. But they don't like that troops in the city, because that's something they're seeing in their cities. You know what I'm saying? The stuff they see, they might have they don't see no wars that's happening in Ukraine or Russia. They don't really care. They don't really see the effects of a war that's happening in Israel, Gaza. A lot of people do. A lot of young people care, but a lot of regular Americans in the Midwest do not care, unless they have an ethnic tie to the Middle East. I'm saying when you picking people off at Home Depot, they could see that. It's happening in their communities. That's something totally different. You see what I'm saying? If you go outside and you see a tank on the street in your city, that's something totally different. They seeing with their own eyes. When they go to buy eggs, those kind of things, you got to pay attention to them things, because that's going to move them left or right. If the Democrats are smart, they over there in that. See, while you ain't doing town halls, Bernie Sanders and AOC did. And they were getting 100,000 people crowds. So they already moving the country to the left. You see what I'm saying? If the Democrats were smart, they would see this and they would pounce on this. And what Bernie, that no dictators, they'll be doing another tour, systematically, just moving the country more and more to the left. And when you go to a red state in a red district and you wonder why you lose by 15 points and President Trump won it by 10. But if you get a good candidate in that district and they saying the right thing, you gonna crab walk that Republican just like she did, a 20-point swing, and you wonder why. You gotta know how to listen to what the people saying and what they think. You could go around what they saying You could go above what they saying. You could go through what they saying, but you got to know how to listen to what they saying and what they think. Somebody said black privilege is real, bro. It's a whole clown up in here. What privilege a black person got? He said we need to. That's what I was thinking too. That's what I said too. I said the exact same thing. My feelings were the same. But you're not going to survive if you do not listen to the people. The people are the boss. You got to understand that. They the boss. And the silent majority, they might be quiet, but next November, they're going to let you know how they feel. They're going to get loud next November. They're going to be screaming next November. Screaming. So I look at them special elections. I look at them polls. What's going on in August? What's going this way? Why is it going this way? Oh, nah, President Trump, them truth things. You got to change the course, something. The Democrats go talk to the people. Whoever get out there with the people gonna win. Come in 26 and 28. Watch what I tell you. Whoever get out there and make that case. So I'm just putting that out there. That's what that is, man. You can't pay attention. You can't disregard a poll. Somebody said bias. I feel the bias, but we looked at the Gallup polls, man. Even though his approval rating, but I'm saying overall in that conservative poll, he underwater, and they don't like what's going on with them troops in their city, man. So I'm not saying that you do A, B, or C. I'm just saying, okay, Ghost, go ahead and advise President Trump. What you gonna do? What I would do is I would come up with a comprehensive plan. If he need troops to help protect his federal agents when they going in the city, that's not no tanks though. You just putting the troops in there with your agents. That ain't no tanks. That ain't all that other stuff. But I'm saying you put them people don't want that military in their city fighting crime. That's why his approval rate's down. Now, what the person said down below in the chat, I can't really pronounce their name. What that person said, I got that comment pin. I kind of feel like they feel. You know what I'm saying? If you're trying to combat crime for 30 years and you ain't been able to stop it, try some new stuff. But I'm saying that you just put BDUs and boots and Abrams tanks in people's cities. They don't like that. So I'm saying if you're gonna continue to do it and not suffer politically, then I think you need to get out there and explain this to people. He ran on it. He told the people he were gonna do it. But they don't care. They're not liking it. So get out there and talk about it, man. And if you don't, the Democrats gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? Why are we got troops in our cities? Y'all need to have that debate, right? Right or wrong? Yeah, it has, Steven. And with all that, you still down. You still got you underwater with approval rate. That's what I'm talking about, Steven. That's exactly what I'm talking about. It don't make no sense. Does that make sense, Steven? Despite all of what Steven said in that pinned comment, you still underwater with your approval rate. Listen, hold on. Let me tell you something. Let me explain something. Give me proof that President Trump ever did anything inappropriate with the underage girl. Show me the proof. Who's seen the proof? Show me the proof that President Trump ever did anything with the underage girl. Show me the proof. Exactly. Exactly. They ain't got no proof. You ain't produced one iota of evidence that he did anything with any underage girl. Show me the proof. You know, if I was President Trump's family, I would be gunning for people like you. Real talk. I would be gunning for people like you. Someone says it's a Democratic conspiracy. I wouldn't say it's a Democratic conspiracy. Not at all. Right? I wouldn't say it's a conspiracy. That stuff happens in America, where rich people are allowed to get away with doing despicable things. That's been happening forever. How's that a conspiracy? I'm saying I've seen they had a picture of girls sitting on President Trump's lap with their shirts off. They had a picture of that, but ain't nobody had no proof. Ain't no girl ever who was under the legal age of consent has ever stepped forward and said President Trump has done anything about it. If you have proof of that, show it. Show the proof. If you had proof, you would have it. Somebody said he's been accused 35 times of what? Of sexual assault? Yeah. Of some kind of sexual misconduct? Yeah. Maybe so. But I'm saying, show me the proof that he's a pedophile. That's what I'm saying. All that stuff you saying about him, 35 accusations, messing with girls, yada, 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 yada. Yeah, he got elected with them 35 accusations. Right or wrong? Did he get elected with those same accusations? The American people are aware of that. Right or wrong? What I'm saying is, show me the proof that he's a pedophile. That's what I'm saying. Since the dude said I'm trying to protect or defend pedophiles. So if he's that, I don't know that. America doesn't know that. If you know that, you got some information that the rest of us don't have. Well, share it. If you don't want to share it, don't come on a live stream and say that I'm protecting a man is a pedophile. Because all of America don't know that. We don't have that information. So if you know that, you have some information we don't have. Share it. If you don't want to share it, then don't say what you say. Somebody said the two-party system doesn't work for minorities or black people. Man, it probably never had. It probably never will. And that's facts. Okay, DLS, man, you are on President Trump hard, okay? Let's do this. Has President Trump ever been accused of what you want to say, assaulting a minor? Well, hey, DLS, what's the girl's name that accused him of that? Let me ask you that. What's her name? It's an accusation. You say it's disgraceful. It might be disgraceful. It's an accusation. Listen, y'all are confused about something. The American people knew about all of this stuff besides you saying that about that girl, the underage girl. They knew about all this stuff and voted for him still. What's the girl's name, DLS? Okay, then when that happens, DLS, when that happens, They organized. They going to DC on September the 3rd. Great job. If you caring about the victims, DLS, I'm not hating on you, my brother. I don't want to silence your voice. I keep pinning your comment. Keep pinning your comments. Keep pinning them. Keep coming with the comments. Because you said that, and I looked at this story. I see a story on here. I'm not going to report this, but I'm saying I see something on here where you saying that, but you said the victims are coming. If the victims are coming, then the stuff is coming out. And if the stuff is coming out, we're going to get a conclusion to the problem, aren't we? Today ain't September the 3rd. Yeah, accused. Exactly. Accused. The story says that she accused him and old Jeffrey. That's what the story says. Her cases were dismissed or withdrawn. So we don't even know if it's true. How you know what she's saying is true? How you know a Democrat didn't pay her to say that? Look, if I had a president who I couldn't stop, who I charged with 35 felonies, who I attempted to assassinate, who I tried to do everything to, and I could not stop him, and I had a situation with Jeffrey Epstein, all you got to find is a girl who used to kick it, whoever kicked it with her. That's all you got to do is find her. And it's on and popping. I'm saying, have they had a trial yet? Her cases was dismissed. He was accused. You can't convict nobody without no trial, man. Can you convict somebody without a trial? That's what y'all complaining about, what the Fed's doing right now. They just coming snatching people and not giving them due process. So I'm saying we gonna make President Trump guilty of something because somebody said he did it. John, bro, y'all, they on it hard. Y'all on it hard, man. Let it play out. That's what I'm gonna say. Bro, Epstein was past guilty. He admitted to it. That's why he was convicted without a trial. He admitted to it. President Trump ain't admitting to nothing. He said all that stuff is a smear campaign. That's what he said. Jeffrey didn't say it was a smear campaign. Jeffrey pled guilty and got 18 months in jail, if I'm not mistaken. That's what happened with Jeffrey. Ain't none of that happened with President Trump. President Trump stopped fooling with him. That's what happened with President Trump. For what reason, that's up for discussion. They said, look, September 3rd, look, let's look this up, y'all, because we're not live tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I might have to talk about this on Thursday if this turns out to be a story. So my boy, not John, but DL said the victims are going to the White House, on September the 3rd. Let's see what's going on. So, yeah, y'all, DL, I appreciate that. Where DL at? Czar, baby, Czar, what's up, girl? You know what I'm saying? Y'all say what's up to my girl Zara, man. Listen, my homegirl Z, man, you know what I'm saying? That's like one of my best friends, you know what I'm saying? And like I got a vlog coming out. I want y'all to check that out tomorrow. The We the People tour is the We the People 3. You know what I'm saying? So the vlog that comes out tomorrow, y'all go check that out. Make sure y'all check that out. I gave my little homegirl Zara, man, I gave her a big shout out in the video as soon as it come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Showing love to my girl, man. Oh, I see that, but I see that DL. Look, DLS, man, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to make you a moderator. Yeah. I'm going to make you a managing moderator, DLS. Yeah. How many Republican channels do that? How many MAGA channels do that? Because I'm neither of none. I'm an American. I love my country, man. And if you saying this man then did A, B, and C, that's some hard stuff, bro. You got to come out with real accusations. And if he did do it, then, you know, what is what is. That's horrible, though, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that'll pretty much destroy his legacy. Every good thing he ever did, it would destroy it. But I'm saying with no trial and just accusations. It's funny, they come in September the 3rd and the man been sick the last few days. You know what I'm saying? So DLS, look, okay, how about this? Zar, baby, you know I gotta replace that comment. Zar, baby, you know I love you, though. For real, for real, for real. Make sure you check out that vlog tomorrow, too, because your name gonna be plastered all over it, man. Y'all say what's up to my... Hold up, where's she at? Where my girl Z at? You know what I'm saying? Hold on a second. Y'all say what's up to my girl Zara for shiggity. You know what I'm saying? DLS, look, ameliorate legal. My link's in the bio, man. Hit me up with any kind of information that you have. Like that. Yeah, definitely. Hit me up, man. Definitely. Because that is disgusting on a lot of levels, if it's true. But it's just an accusation. I don't really delve into accusations, man. You know what I'm saying? DLS, not that's, bruh, look, man, I'm telling you, this dude right here, he is on it. Look, DLS, look, I'll say this, bruh. I'm not sure, man. What you think? You know what I'm saying, DLS? What you think? You said that his legacy was on. Look, January 6th, I think, stopped him from getting reelected immediately. But I'm saying, you saying his legacy, man, I don't know, DLS. Because I think if none of that Epstein stuff is true and he finishes out the term, Lord willing, and I don't know, man, I think that his legacy would be great. He's done stuff that, I mean, in politics, he's like no other politician America has ever seen. That we will remember him forever. John Toomey says cover up, but John, how much? John, this is what I'm saying. How much of a cover up is it if DLS is in the stream and he didn't say? I'm talking about. I look on the screen and it's got the girl's name. It's got a name. I mean, they having a news conference September the 3rd. It's got the girl's name that accused him. So what DLS said, it's not going to be a cover up. I'm sure they're going to talk about that on the 3rd. It's going to come out. Golly, man. President Trump, man, they own you hard, man. DLS, if what you saying is true, that's going to destroy the Republican Party, bro. Ooh. Golly, man, that is horrible. That's what I say, Glow. I say get a man a Nobel Peace Prize. That's what I said. Somebody said y'all soon to be eating bugs. That's too funny. God, it's so stupid. Oh, they take big amounts of cash. Who is that though? That's what I'm saying. Who taking the cash? Oh, DLS says a bunch of them. DLS, so who else you got on the list? Who else you got on the list, DLS? Big Chief said America is cooked. Nah, America's never cooked, homeboy. Never. Not this land. Not this land, homeboy. Not this 50 states. As long as Ghost Rider's still alive. They keep Ghost Rider alive. America never be cooked, boy. Ghost Rider was up there with P. Head said, if I had the Chinese and the Russians, they'll be on their knees bowing to us. Y'all seen the dictator before? Y'all see how they bow, like they bowed to North Korea? Bro, if I was president, I had the Russians and if I was with I had the Russians and the Chinese. Every time they see the American flag, this what they'll do. I'm dead serious. Oh, everything. America never be cooked, boy. Like, not people like me. You crazy. Yeah, too, mama. That's what I'm saying. That's what I thought we was doing. But, man, they coming in here talking. So DLS talking like he knows something. Because for him to say that about, look, him saying that, I said, President Trump accused of sexual assault. with the minor. So I see, hold up. I see a New York Post article about this. I see Snoop's September the 3rd, 2024. So that was a while ago. I see Law and Crime. I see PolitiFact. The story's out there, man. How DLS talking like he know for a fact. Jimmy, that's too funny. Yeah, Mr. Smile, the story is definitely out there. I know, Snoops. That's the name of y'all can look it up right now. It's a Snoop story. It's from September the 3rd, 2024. Yeah, excuse me, DLS, he wasn't found liable for a child, was he? Let me know that. Was he found liable for messing with a child? Because what that says is the case was dismissed. If you dismiss the case, you can't bring that back. If you can't bring that back, all that's going to happen is his approval rating is going to drop. And then it's a case of the public opinion. If it's Democrats behind doing this, that's just the most brightest move you could ever make. Democrats finally got smart. Man, DLS, he is not playing with this, bro. Y'all woke up on Monday morning, bro, and y'all came out a whole different way, bro. I'm saying you got to put that out there. If you put that evidence out there, what you think the people going to do? It's going to be a house of cards. It's going to collapse. That's what's going to happen. If you put that evidence out there, I promise you, everything they got going up there right now going to fall on his face on the instant. And the American people going to wish that they had voted for VP Harris on the instant. That's what's going to happen. On the instant, it's going to happen instantaneously. It's going to be a house of cards. But I'm saying you got to have proof, though. You can't just say, oh, these accusations they weren't made last week. These accusations been out there. Bro, yeah, I don't, you said an adjudicated, man, that, look. Hey, when you say they, who is they love him? When you say they, who is they? I just want to know, when you say they, I just need to know who you mean by they. You talking about Ghost? Because I'm saying he the sitting president of the United States. The sitting president, 2-time elected. Who is they? You mean America. You mean your nation. God dang, DLS, so you a Democrat though, DLS. You gotta be. DLS, you a Democrat. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be. He said you gonna have them people at your door. He is the people at the door. I believe that. Just the way that he talking. Y'all don't understand the game. Ghostwriter get the game. I believe what he's saying. Because I'm saying that's some strong, he's talking strong. I see a lot of people in here in this chat, they don't be talking like that. He knows something going on. You know what I'm saying? If you know the king finna fall, then you gonna get bold like that. When you know he finna fall, he knows something going on behind the scenes. He knows something coming. That's what I'm saying. DLS saying he knowing something coming down the pipe. That's what he's saying. Look, I'm going to give Steve Middleton a voice too, because what he's saying, I believe the same thing too, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, I'm sorry, man. Like, I believe that, you know, like if you saying he did something like that, no, that's not, he not worthy to be president. But I'm saying, like, you saying that he did things to women or something, he was convicted of them in court, man. Oh my goodness. That's hard though. That's real hard, man. You know what I'm saying? But the American people knew that and they still voted for him. He president. You know what I'm saying? Oh, meat wagon. Hey, what meat wagon saying is true though. Yeah, that's my girl Z, bruh. That's my baby right there. Y'all heard what she said? Yeah, boy. I agree with that. All of that, Z. Yeah. You know what I'm saying, Z? They don't understand that. To respect another person's point of view, man. People don't understand that. They get too wrapped up in a Republican or Democrat. And then they forget what we really fighting for. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but he was sued, but he lost the case. You right. But if you get sued and lose the case, then I mean, you guilty, ain't you? Ain't you guilty? Brad said he's silencing the media. He might be silencing the media. He ain't silencing DLS. DLS in here dumping on him. Man, this is a conversation, bro. We coming here talking about approval ratings, bro. These boys in here jumping off today, boy. Golly. I was not expecting this. Daves, I'm not gonna do that. You do, that's a conspiracy thing. That we ain't nobody ain't never heard nothing like that before. That's crazy. Jimmy said that's all they do is talk, but who talking though? Jimmy? You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, I'm saying, like, look how hard he going after Gavin Newsom. So I'm saying that you should expect somebody to come back at you if you go at him like that hard. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you going after Adam C, going after everybody. So you know that they gonna come after him if you going after him that hard. That's politics. You said it's public knowledge. It is now. Yeah, he was hired. He was held civil. It's civil liability. He was never convicted, like somebody said. You know what I'm saying? So he never, like, he had to pay money in court. Yes, liable civilly. Which, if you think he liable civilly, then he probably did it. That's what you would think. But he was never convicted of rape or molesting a child. Dave, I understand. So y'all look. So basically, what we probably got a bunch of MAGA people in here, man. That's what it looked like to me, because it looked like MAGA is the one who really went after President Trump with that. That's what it looked like. Y'all, am I right or wrong? Tell me if I'm wrong. It's his own people who went after him. What's in the files? Y'all tell us what's in the files. Just say it. Spit it out like DLS did. No, they don't. Sean, you are absolutely right. None of them ever cared. They never will care. That's point blank, period. Sean, are you my homeboy, Sean? You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to call your last name on the live stream, but I went ahead and added you as a moderator if you my homie. You know what I'm saying? If you from the city I'm from, because all of y'all definitely want to add y'all as a moderator. Peter said he has one that name. Peter said he has one conviction of a Peter, oh yeah, for sure, Sean. Peter said he has one conviction of sexual misconduct. I'm gonna go ahead and pin that one. What's up, Jet Star? What it do? Hey, look, y'all make sure y'all double tap the screen, like the video. If y'all have not already, subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all hit that notification bell. Also, guys, I've been streaming with you guys for about 2 hours. So if you guys want to donate to the channel, those donations are much appreciated, man. We need them donations to keep the channel going, man. That time that I'm spending with you guys, you know what I'm saying? So super chat, super thanks, and super stickers, excuse me, they start at 99 cents. There's a button below, 3 dots. Just hit that button with the $sign in the channel. Memberships start at $2.99, guys. Come on, guys. We need the support. We need the support. No, that's not true. So you saying the majority of America supported him? Montero, Rolling. The majority of America supported him. So you saying we all like that? Nah, that's not true. We just didn't know. Ain't nobody know until what they saying right now. We didn't even know about September the 3rd. We do now. Tigress, what you saying gullible? What you mean gullible? Who gullible? How am I gullible? I'm trying to see how I'm gullible. Y'all saying that like you want to see the story? You want to see the story? This man saying that, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just commenting off of what he said. Well, I'm saying he's saying that September the 3rd that they gonna have a meeting on Capitol Hill about it. All the victims gonna be up there. That's gonna be huge, bro. That's gonna be a big thing. That's big. That's ginormous. As a matter of fact, that's real big. Yeah, they've been knowing about it for years, but they ain't been going to the White House on Wednesday for years. That's what I'm saying. They just now going to the White House on Wednesday to Capitol Hill with the victims to talk about this. So I'm saying that girl up there talking about what they did to her back in the day. That's what I said too. Only, Brad, you saying only because of the statute of limitations ran out? Only? That's what you saying? Only because of that? What's up, Robert? You see what Mondo's saying? That's what a lot of people saying. They saying they know. I don't know. We gonna find out though. I'm saying I couldn't let nobody be accusing me like that if I was President Trump. I'd be trying to sue all y'all for defamation. Real talk. I'll be trying to. Every last one of y'all be trying to sue y'all for defamation. You know what I'm saying? Man, he said 90% of our leaders are on that list. Golly. Goodness gracious, man. He said everybody we watch on TV on that list. Golly. So everybody was chilling with Jeffrey. Jeffrey was the little kid finder for everybody. Y'all see what Steven said, but Steven, it seemed like they coming, bro. I don't know. It seemed like a resurgence. I think they didn't expect President Trump to win. Again, they keep thinking he gonna lose, but he won. When he won, I think they didn't know how to deal with that or to approach that situation how he won. So it just took them some time. But I think they done got their foot now. I really do. If you look at his approval rating, if you look at a lot of things, listen, I'm gonna tell y'all this. We can get ready to close. Look, I don't. From what I've seen him do as a president, I think he has not done a bad job. You know what I'm saying? I think actually he's done a good job. You could say that, oh, that you might be biased about A, B, C, or D. I don't see how I would be biased if I was supporting VP Harris. In my mind, if VP Harris would have won, bro, like things would have kicked off for what I was trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Like starting a small business, like she offering 50,000, all kind of things, bro. That's what I'm saying. Things probably would have kicked off with what I was trying to do, but it didn't happen like that at all. President Trump won. He is our duly elected president. Okay. Now, he has been accused of doing some things that, you know what I'm saying, we would say is reprehensible, but an accusation is different. There's plenty of people been accused of doing things that were not found guilty. So until you find him guilty of a crime, then look, all the rest of y'all could come on here and say whatever y'all want to. I'm saying, look, this is what I'm saying. I'm saying that, and I hate bringing this up. I really do, because I love this dude. I love him to death. I think Bill Clinton was the best politician in of our time. You go back to JFK days. They killed JFK. If you seen what President Clinton did, you would think that, you know what I'm saying? But it didn't happen like that. It happened just the opposite. It happened just the opposite. And that ain't nothing we got to go dig for some Jeffrey Epstein. That's something that happened right there in the White House. Secret Service knew about it. Before the world knew about it, the Secret Service be knowing everything. And they knew about it. And I'm saying America could have handled that, but they didn't. And they let the people decide, and the people put him in that position. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. So you saying this about this man, they said everything they saying about President Trump that I could think of besides a 13-year-old girl. I don't know nothing about that. But I'm saying everything you saying about him, they said that about him in 2015 and 16, and he won. What happened to him not winning again, that didn't have nothing to do with nothing but January 6th. That's it. I could promise you. He did not get reelected because of January the 6th. That's it. It ain't no Russia. It ain't no COVID. It ain't no nothing. January the 6th is why he lost that election. He come back up for reelection. You see what I'm saying? You got assassination attempt, you got felonies and everything. But with all that dirt, with people coming on here saying I'm supporting a convicted rapist, with all that dirt, he still won. So I'm saying what you could tell me today, that's not me being gullible, but if you saying that a child accused you of doing something and she's still alive and it's been how many years later and she's still saying that, man, yeah, that's a problem. What? That woman, Jean Carroll, who said that or whatever like that, you know, I mean, she was in that situation way back then. And then you gonna wait 100 years to say that he raped me. You could believe it or you don't have to believe it. That's on you. That could be viewed as something political. But I'm saying you getting people to go to the White House on September the 3rd and say, hey, he did A, B, and C to me. And this is a living, breathing person. And she said when I was 13 or 14, so-and-so did. Yeah, that's something totally different, bruh. That's not the same as everything else. If I look at Jean Carroll, she looked like no hate. I'm just being real. This is my opinion. This ain't no defamation. She looked like she just as old or older than President Trump. So that happens. They go to parties, they do A, B, and C, and things happen bad like that. If you act like it don't happen, you ain't been living. And you ain't no rich man who probably then, you know what I'm saying, had relations with a whole lot of different females. If you have the more female relations, that kind of stuff will happen. You just gotta know what you're doing to not be accused of that. I ain't never been accused of nothing like that. You see what I'm saying? But but Jean Carroll, when I look at her story, though, I mean, you gonna come 30 years later and say this man sexual assault you, and you got a bag. You got money off of that. Who was there? Where the camera at? Find me a camera. Where the camera at? Cause look, I'm gonna tell you something. If how many people in the world you know think could tell a lie and they gonna get paid $10 million, they not gonna lie for 10 million. You wouldn't tell a lie for $10 million? Let's be real. That ain't protecting nobody. That's being real. You wouldn't tell a lie for 10 million. Ain't no cameras there. Where the witnesses at? I'm saying, like, I just that kind of, and then it's gonna come out during a political campaign and all this. I'm just not with that. But I'm saying, if you got a girl who was 13, that's a completely different story. That's completely different. And she breathing and alive and said he did A, B, and C. She could be lying too, though, because it's politics. That's just the game. The game dirty like that. I'm not gullible, but I'm going to listen to what somebody's saying. You going to listen to them too. On September the 3rd, if they go into the White House, we going to do a special that afternoon because we all going to listen to them. And you going to listen to them too. That's why you on the stream talking about it. We all gonna listen to that. That ain't something that we ain't none of us gonna pay no attention to. You crazy. You see what DLS saying? And he's saying they got hard information. I don't know. I ain't there, but I'm not just gonna believe something. You gotta share it. You go look up something. A girl accused her. Yeah, that's old information. But when they went to Capitol Hill, though, when we seen a 13-year-old or however old she is now on Capitol Hill giving a press conference talking to the media about the sitting president did A, B, C, and D to me. We ain't never seen that, have we? That's something different. No, I'm not listening to nothing. But I'm saying the man said that they coming to the White House. What I'm saying, he's saying they coming to the White House, bro. They coming to the White House or not on September the 3rd. So that's news. But I'm saying if they go to the White House and she ain't got no new evidence, she ain't saying nothing new. The same things we've been hearing for years. I'm saying, who gonna buy that? If it's the same thing, ain't nobody gonna buy it. But I'm saying you can't speak prematurely. You gotta wait and let that situation to develop to see what it is before you could speak on it. But today, on Monday, September the 1st, Donald J. Trump is the president of these United States, and America has business that needs to be handled. From him, from Vice President Vance, from Secretary Rubio, from Secretary Noem, America has business that need to be handled, so they're going to get to the business of America. Now, in the meantime, in between time, if you come out with some facts or some real information, not no, if that girl accusing him, that's bad. But if that was me, bro, and I know I didn't do it, she would be under FBI investigation with 15 seconds after she said that. If that was me and I know I didn't do it, if I know I didn't do it now, if you know that it's kind of suspect, I wouldn't fool with it. I just walk away. But if I know I didn't do it, because you're going to tarnish my legacy, because she gets to go around saying that. She gets to go around saying I did something to her. Ain't nobody going to come at me like that, boy. You're going to be in court in 15 seconds. Because here's my thing. Even though President Trump probably wouldn't want to put her in court because that's where he's at with the situation, even though he sued a lot of people. Here's my thing, though. With you saying that, and that's not true, I'm saying you sitting there tarnished. I mean, bro, that girl ain't going to be able to pay the amount of money that he going to sue her for, billions. He'd destroy that girl for saying something. If that was me, you can't accuse me like that if I didn't do that. That's crazy. And you playing politics? And you done found you somebody who gonna come out the woodworks and said I did A, B, and C to her. Oh no, boy, we getting on your head for that. That's how I see it. Oh yeah, yesterday he was golfing. Yeah, he was. Yeah, Bill Clinton is the best politician that I ever seen. You show me a politician. Look, the Speaker of the House during Bill Clinton's presidency, his name is Newt Gingrich. You show me a Democratic Party with a Republican leader. Look, can you see President Trump and Hakeem Jeffries holding arms? They brothers. President Trump and he got his arm around Hakeem Jeffries like this, talking about what they just passed together for America and balanced the budget. Bill Clinton, the only politician I ever see that do that. I don't care what he do in his personal life now. If they saying that, I don't know that. But I'm saying as a he did A, B, and C. Yeah, that's scumbag activity. But the rest of America didn't care. We don't care what he doing when he go home, man. We care. Look, so you got a business, right? And your business is that, let's say, do what I do. Say you a paralegal. And say I got me some paralegals, right? I got a couple paralegals, right? All right. I got a paralegal who real good, man. I'm saying when that boy go home or that girl go home, I don't care what they doing at home. I care about how they do this job. That's what the American people, they want somebody to do the job good. Now, if you just coming out with saying he an all the way scumbag and you got the proof, that might change things. But I'm saying as far as Bill Clinton, the way he did his job as a politician, he ran that office better than any one of them else that I've seen. I seen President Trump in his first term. He had Nancy Pelosi in them. He was trying with them. I seen President Obama in his first term. He had John McCain in there. So don't get it twisted. I'm saying President Clinton went past his first term. He in his second term. And he the only president in my lifetime I see he put all his pride and he dropped his pride on the floor. The man could talk good. He a real good talker. And he walked across that aisle with Newt Gingrich and he shook Newt Gingrich's hand. And when he shook Newt Gingrich's hand, that's the last time the budget been balanced. I don't see no politicians. No politicians are dead. There ain't none of them like that. President Obama, I love him to death. I think he one of the best presidents. Politician and the president is different than me. I love him to death. But it was too much partisan stuff with him. They wouldn't let him be what he was trying to be. He was trying to unite America. They wouldn't let him. But for some reason, Bill Clinton, y'all hating on Bill, bro. I'm telling you, Bill was the truth. He was the God's honest. We're like, when we say the truth, you know what I'm saying? Like the God's honest, like keeping the Lord's promise. Yeah, that boy was the truth. The truth. You talking about politics, Bill Clinton was the truth. You ain't never seen, John Kennedy wasn't Bill Clinton. Nowhere close. I don't care who would say, who keep you ain't no John Kennedy. Nah, they ain't no Bill Clinton. John Kennedy was about like President Obama. He just got killed. And when you get killed, that makes you get mortarized. He a martyr now. He a legend. He a forever legend. But he about like President Obama. Probably maybe not even as good as President Obama. President Obama's words way better than John Kennedy. But he young, good looking like President Obama. About the same thing. Let him play his term out. He'd be like President Obama. That's what I'm saying. You show me one like Bill Clinton. Show me one. Which one of them like Bill Clinton? I don't even think Ronald Reagan and them one like Bill Clinton. He had a different way of getting done what he got done. He got a lot done for America. I think Ronald Reagan, like, he on Mount Rushmore, real talk. They needed, whatever they got on Mount Rushmore, they need to let me come do it. I'll do it right. Abraham Lincoln, if he could stay, George Washington could stay. We're going to put other presidents. So we putting everybody else up new. Yeah, we're going to change Mount Rushmore. Who your top five? Y'all put y'all top five in the list real quick before we go. I got President O. I got President Clinton. I got George Washington. He the first president you got to. Abraham Lincoln, you got to. Who your fifth president? Who you going to put on number five? Because y'all be hating, I think, in the last, since Ronald Reagan. We done had the best presidents we ever had, in my opinion, since Ronald Reagan. Like, y'all, I don't see it like y'all see it. Like, because if you go back and look at history, we had some duds as presidents. But these ones nowadays, they're not bad really to me, not at all. Knowing what they came in with and what they had to do, as far as American history, I'm not a history person, but just looking at what they accomplished and how the people responded to them. The last two presidents we had could do crowds and get 100,000 people. That ain't never happened in history. You know what happens usually in history? A president is just like President Biden or President Clinton, not Bill, but Hillary, just a regular politician where, you go to a meeting or a hearing, you got 1,000 or 2,000 people there. That's a normal president. These days, we get rock stars. Kamala doing show when she first announced, I'm talking about before, when she ran against Joe Biden, when she first announced, she came out in Oakland, it was 20,000 people there. That's unheard of. They rock stars. That ain't never happened before in the history of America. So I think the presidents are, to me, they getting, if not getting better, they are relating more with the people. Todd Nelson said he got Clinton, Trump, Reagan, and Kennedy. Man, you put Kennedy on there, man. I don't know. Somebody say Andrew Jackson. They trying to be funny. You gonna end up with where Andrew Jackson is. You gonna be real wormy. Hey, Steven, I appreciate it. All right, y'all, that's my time, man. It's been like 2.5 hours, man. I'm out here chilling, man, in Michigan. Like I said, tomorrow morning, y'all, we got a vlog. So y'all come and y'all show up 7 a.m. Central, because I know most of y'all in the Central time zone. You know what I'm saying? And then at 8 a.m. Eastern time, y'all come tap in with y'all boy, Big Ghostwriter, man. Legal Wars Live. We got We the People 3. That's 4 days. I did them in Illinois, in Chicago, of course, which is in Illinois, Indiana, and then I touched Lake Michigan. So that's tomorrow at 8 a.m. Central time. Right here, guys. We the People 3. We the People tour, bruh. It's 46 days been out here, man. They've been talking, they've been hating the whole time, 46 days straight. Listen, when I got the first of the year, I spent 85 days, boots on the ground, all across Texas, took a tour, man. You know what I'm saying? Spent way too much money. I ain't doing that this time. Spent way too much money, man, but I did a lot of interviews, We the People, you know what I'm saying? That's how I started. Then I chilled out. I finished some business, like I did the Pardon series. I finished Discover Your Passion too, you know what I'm saying? I did all of that in 3 months in Mississippi. You know, so I went to North Carolina, but I still came back to Mississippi. Then when I left Mississippi, bro, it's been 46 days. Went to Tennessee for 3 weeks, so that means 26 days, 25 days in Michigan, man. Or in the Midwest, you know what I'm saying? Probably by the end of this week, we probably be moving on. You know what I'm saying? Not sure where we're moving to, but we'll be moving on. Next Tuesday, this in Michigan, Lake Michigan, Lifestyles and Lawsuits, that's Discover Your Passion 4, next Tuesday. So Tuesday, Discover Your Passion. If I get out at the end of this week and I pop out in a new city, if not, I'll probably brush Detroit or one of them cities. If I do that, you know what I'm saying, you might get, like, we might just do Discover Your Passions every Tuesday. New vlogs, man, till the tour is over. That being said, man, I love every last one of y'all. I appreciate y'all for coming up and showing some support. One thing I do need to say, bro, we got to donate. We have to get super chats, super thanks, super stickers. We got to participate, y'all. We have to. Because like on Tuesdays with me just doing the vlog, I'm saying I'm out here and I'm recording. So I'm saying I'll put the content up on Tuesday, you know what I'm saying, for the vlogs, and I'll just go live on Saturday, one day. But I'm saying if I'm going to be going live all the time, you know what I'm saying, we got to do that, bro. Like, look, I think it was last February or this February or March when we were doing it. The last time we did the Texas tour, we got 63 channel members in a month. That was the most we did in a month. 63. on that tour. So I'm saying like on this tour, you know what I'm saying? Because I mean, I easily could just do a different, like a podcast with no video on anybody, anywhere. I could do it anywhere. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to do this channel. I don't have to do YouTube. All I got to do is start talking on a platform and watch what's going to happen. I could start 5 platforms today and just start talking. That's all I got to do is start a platform and just start talking. You see what I'm saying? Ain't no control or no domination on one YouTube page when I got this mouth and this brain. What you going to do with the mouth and the brain? The page is irrelevant. You could have the page, but I'm saying I could go anywhere and open up the mouth and start talking with this brain. The same, you going to have the same. That's how I sue them. They think you're going to stop something, and that's why they get sued 1,000,000 times. You can't stop nobody from filing a lawsuit. You just a little slow, but I'll let you catch up. You know what I'm saying? You just a little slow in the end game. You can't stop somebody from suing you. You can't. There's no way you could beat that. You got to win in court. And if you losing in court, all we got to do is just sit here and keep filing lawsuits, and you win 1 out of 10. And all I got to do is keep filing, and we'll just look at our clock. You gonna lose. You can't win. You got to win in court. If you can't win in court, what you do out here is irrelevant. And I done proved that last time. Same thing with the podcast. You know what I'm saying? I don't need YouTube. I don't need a Legal Wars channel on YouTube. I could go and do this anywhere, anyhow. It's my mind and my brain that is the problem. And as soon as I go to a new platform and start talking, all my haters gonna have the same problem you got with this one. So I'm saying, if we don't expand this channel, you gonna be chasing, my haters gonna be chasing and running after me, because I'm saying I'm gonna expand what I'm doing. I'm going to expand it past this point right here. So if I'm just putting that out there. So we don't support here, I'm gonna expand past this point. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna have to do that. You know what I'm saying? We gonna have to. That being my time though, y'all. You see, you always get somebody in the stream. It's always one. They say one bad apple will rotten a whole core. It's always one, man. You always have one idiot in the group. I guess it's just humans and humans' behavior. You always need one idiot. You can't make it without one. Hey, that's my time, man. You see how YouTube, they threw a lot of people in the stream. I'm finna start tweaking on somebody in here, man. Nah, I ain't gonna do it like that, man. But yeah, man, tomorrow morning, y'all, you know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Central Time, right here, Legal Wars Live on YouTube, man. We got a new vlog coming out. This is We the People 3, man. You know what I'm saying? So y'all not going to see me tomorrow. That's why I went live today on a day that's not our regular day. But hey, but we got a lot of people, man, today, more people than I expected, and I appreciate it, man. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate people showing up, man, to hear what I got to say, man. They do it all the time, often, all over the America. Hey, Piano, you see how he could say the N-word, whole N-word. But then when you say that word, he says crackers. You don't, y'all too funny, bro. Y'all are so, listen, let me say something, right, so y'all can understand me. Look, I understand ain't nobody in Michigan, they don't know me. You know what I'm saying? But look, let me say, when in Mississippi, bro, I know if you a white person, I know 1,000 times more, 1,000 times, not 1,000 more, 1,000 times more white people than you do. And they like me more than they like you, if you a white person. Yeah, you want me to prove it? I got a phone over there. You want me to start calling them? White people. I'm talking about rich, poor, all kind of white people love me more than you. I grew up with them. I was the only black person in my class. This ain't Mississippi, but in Mississippi, I talk like that and nobody don't say, because they know me. They know, bro, you more racist. You more racist against white people than I am. I promise you are. You don't know me. Go back to know. I don't speak out of turn. People speak out of turn. which I understand, because sometimes you put people in a position to where you saying stuff, they don't know you, they just see somebody say something and they be like, oh man, he racist. That's not what that case is. What that case is he about to sue you. So before he sues you, he calls you a certain name so you could get what time it is. That's what time it is. That's what I do before I sue people. I say stuff to them. And my hope is me saying them words that they are, just take a couple steps back. That's all I need you to do is just take 2 or 3 of them back. Just take 2, 3 steps back. Let's get to know each other better first. You know what I'm saying? Before you doing all of that. Because see, some stuff happen at my home that people do that. They know me though. And so they know I go in the middle of the store. I'm going to tell them what's on my mind. They respect that because they know me. But you saying I'm racist, I'm going to embarrass you. I've been with more white women than you times 1,000. I got their name. We got them on the phone. Some of them in this live chat. Straight white girls, they whiter than you. And if they see you, they wouldn't talk to you. The only reason they wouldn't talk to me is if something else was going on, bro. And they love me. Go to Ocean Springs, Mississippi. Love. Love, capital letters. Bro, I like if Sean and them in the stream, Sean and them know. Like Miss Kim and them used to tell me, bro, Greg, them white people, they adore you. That's her word, adore you. They love me. So if somebody over here, you just don't know the situation. I'm just trying to help you out, brother, because you finna get sued. So I'm going to say this to you, so maybe that'll stop you from doing what you're doing because I'm about to sue you. So that's just love, really. That's how I see that. But that's just the way I do things. I do things different. I understand the law different than other people. I understand hatred different than other people. If it's a black person, I'm going to say something to that black person too. It might not be racist because their hatred might come from a different place. It could be race. It could be colorism. They don't call it racism when black people hate on other, because that's a real thing. They call it colorism because black people hate on other black people because of their skin color too. Don't get twisted. You just don't know things I know. I'm well versed in this conversation. But what I'm saying, it might be another black person who doing something. I'm going to deal with him different. I might not be able to say those words to him, but I'm going to let him know what he doing. I'm perceiving that as hatred. Whatever you doing, I'm getting it as hatred. And I'm going to say something to him so he'll know it so I don't have to sue him. That's what that is. You trying to say that I'm a racist, you going to look so stupid if you come at me ever like that. Ain't nobody going to believe that. Who going to believe you? You could get some people up here who don't understand, they don't know. But I'm just helping you out. That's the furthest from the truth. The furthest. No way in the world. It ain't one of my toenails ain't racist, boy. You hear me? I'm saying ain't half of one of my pinky nails. I don't care what color you are. That don't mean nothing to me. That's stupid. How can I not? I don't care what party you in, but I care what color you are. None of that stuff mean nothing. It's completely irrelevant. Everything that you are judged by is by what you say and what you do. Not just what you do, not just what you say. You are judged by what you say and what you do with me. That's it. And if you out here acting like whatever you acting like, I'm going to tell you. I don't care what you acting like. If you acting like a baller, I'm going to tell you a baller. If you acting like you a pimp, I'm going to tell you that's what you are. You come out, you got clean clothes, you looking clean, I'm going to just be real with whatever it is. And if you acting like somebody who a racist, I'm going to let you know that. I don't know you. I can't come over there and sit you down and say, hey, Mr. Sir, hey, we need to try to fix, hey, nah, I ain't got time for that, boy, I'm moving. You feel me? I'm moving. I ain't got time to teach no grown person how to act. Boy, I'm going to tell you something. That's what you are. That's what you acting like. If you not that, don't act like that. Bro, if I'm in, look, if they pull up and I got my music blasting and I'm out here with my pants sagging and I'm saying I'm out here with, like I'm in the park right now and I got a gun out here with my pants sagging listening to Tupac with bandanas on, I'm saying you gonna say, hey, that dude is an A, B, or C. Well, that's what he look like. That's what he acting like. It might not be. So that's what I'm saying. If I'm in this group and because I'm telling you, I'm skilled and I'm well skilled in this, bro. I don't lose cases when they discrimination cases. I don't lose them. I've studied this for 18 months. 20 hours a day, reading laws every state, not just in Houston or in Texas, in every state. I got mad respect from the state of Texas for what I did, boy. Mad respect. They still got respect for that. They still want me to come back because they know the fight I was fighting. Ain't no racist nowhere in me. I do it with Hispanic people too. If you act in a certain kind of way, I'm going to tell you how you act, and that's all that is. I don't have time to sit here like I am on this live stream and break something down for them. But if Zara on this stream, Zara, how many Zara, they probably never seen me with a black girl before, bruh. Until a few years ago. They probably never seen me hanging with a black person before, bruh. You would look at the crowd, bro. I used to be a rapper, you know that, right? I used to make songs, Shakespeare. So you'll go on a stage I had, a crowd I did, and I'm on stage and I got 2 black people and a 90 white people behind me, something you ain't never seen before. Imagine Lil Durk come out doing a concert and he got him, King Von, and Lil Reese, and he got 90 white people behind him on a rap concert. Bro, you don't know me. So yeah, when I say them words, that's what that is. You need to stop acting like that. You feel me? If I'm acting like a certain word and you say the word, I'm not going to cry about it. I ain't going to get mad about it. I'm going to understand that's what that is. Well, hey, look, my pants sagging down to my feet. You know what I'm saying? I come up bumping King Von. You know what I'm saying? I'm smoking a blunt. You know what I'm saying? I got a pistol out here cocking it. So if they call me the N-word, I'm going to just say, hey, well, then, I could, I'm not going to cry about it. If I'm acting like that, now if you say it just because you hate, I could tell the difference. I know if what you're doing is hatred. It might not be hatred towards my race. I don't know where the hatred coming from. I'm just saying something. I'm not accusing you. If I got to put it down on paper, then I'm gonna make it be about my. So I'm just like the police do. Yeah, just like they do. They're gonna sit in the corner if they know you a speeder and they know what time you coming. They know you riding down this road 80 mile per hour. It's a 30 mile per hour zone. You could kill a 5-year-old. See, y'all don't think like that, but we do. That's how we think. We think about the next black disabled veteran coming to this that you might, yeah, that's how we think. So we think we going ahead. I don't have time to sit here and try to teach. I'm not here to teach. That's not what I'm here to teach. So I'm going to just say them words. So maybe you hear them words, you see where I'm coming from, right? You saw where I'm coming from. So I use the right words. They might not seem like the right words in that situation, but they were, because you saw exactly. If I would have said, hey, sir, please don't say that to me, ain't nobody would ever talk about that. Them words are powerless. Hey, sir, please do not act like that towards me. That's powerless words. I don't delve in words that have no power or meaning. If you don't know me, I know what to say to that man to get a point across to him. I could say one word to him. Ain't nobody else you know would do that or even think like that. But I could say one word to that man that'll get a point across to him that everybody in this community gonna know it. One word. And ride off. You ain't ghostwriter. You don't know how to move like me. So I paid him back for his hatred on the spot. He got paid back on the spot. You do what you do, I say what I say, and we ain't got no problems. Ain't nobody got to get their nose broke. Ain't nobody got to go to jail. And ain't nobody got to get sued 15 times over the next 3 years. So what you crying about? Because I could tell you a lot of businesses wish I would have called them a few names and just went on. Businesses that had to pay $40,000, $15,000, $20,000, getting sued. I sue them, and then the federal government come and sue them right behind me. Yeah, that done happened more than once. So instead of getting your name put in that court like that, people saying that y'all, they racist or they A, B, and C, instead of getting your name, your whole community's name drugged through the court, I could just say one word to one dude and we square. And you crying about that? I could say one word to one dude for what you did and we square. No lawsuits, no fights, no police. You do what you do, I respond to it, and we square. You crying about that? Well, bet then you want to get sued. You want me to go to out west or go to New York and say that you a bunch of racists out there? That's what you want me to do. That's what you want? Or you gonna just let me say the word? Because you saying words or doing something that's gonna make me act like that, I promise you. You ask anybody who know me. So you done said or did something and I responded to it and you crying because you don't like what I said or did. Then let's go to court with it. You want to do that? Because I ain't never lost a penny, not 1 cent. I don't even pay the $400 some to file it. It don't cost me nothing. But it's going to cost you a whole lot, partner. I promise you, a whole lot. You can laugh as much as you want to. It's still going to cost you. Just like President Trump. You think if he could go back and get that Eugene Carroll stuff off his he wouldn't do that? Who want to get sued for something like that, for anything like that? It's different somebody come in your store and have an accident, but I don't do no accident. I'm saying that this person right here, Your Honor, is a racist. I did that with Governor Abbott and them. I did that 1,000 times. Hey, Governor, they racist over there. He ain't have no problem with that. He said, thank you for telling me. That's what they office said. We gonna deal with it. That's what they said. But I'm saying you out here, you got a problem with me telling you that, so we know you probably something off with you, because Governor Abbott didn't have no problem with that. So I'm saying you got a problem with me telling you got racist people in your community. If you racist, just stay racist, but just don't mess with me. And if you don't mess with me, I ain't never gonna say nothing to you, I promise you. You know what I'm saying? If I was, listen, that Dave Chappelle where he was acting like he was in the KKK. Listen, if I was if I seen a dude in my city and he was right, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I do? I'm just different than you. I'm smarter than you. You gonna sit in the corner and say, oh, look what he did. Yeah, and your stupid butt then got sued. And everybody around America talking about how your little raggedy community is racist. You get sued, or you might get your nose broke. Somebody could get hurt. Or you could just swallow your pride. You know what you did, and you know what you out here doing, and he responded to what you doing. What you mad for? I mean, what do we think? And this how messed up people's minds are in 2025. You think you could do something and no one's supposed to respond to you? Like, and you a grown person, think you could run around doing stuff and nobody could respond to you. That's not how that works. You do stuff, somebody say something back to you, stop crying. What you crying for? It could be a lot worse. What's the tears for? You shouldn't be acting like that. And I'm not even speaking on the whole situation all the way. I never do until I do a court document. Because I want them to think they got a chance of winning. Because I know what I'm talking about. And I went through, listen, I went to a city and I told that city, I sued a man. This man their whole budget for the year, $15 million. How much y'all budget is? Is it even $15 million? Because I'm saying this whole budget for the year, $15 million. I sued a man, he make that in a few hours. That whole yearly budget. I sued him 4 times and never lost to him. So I know what I'm talking. He got better people, more money to defend himself, and he lost. I know what I'm talking about. They consider what I say expert. I went against a federal judge and beat him in an argument. I know what I'm talking about. So if I see groups or conjugations of people and they one race and they direct them whatever toward, you need to do that different, because you're going to get sued. That look like straight racism. That look like stuff from the 20s. You got 100 right in this one, but what you do? I don't care what you're doing it for. I'm just trying to put that in your head. That's what that look like. I'm not from here. I'm not going to be here forever. I do this everywhere. I just bump in the city and I look up and I see that, and I'm telling you, bro, that's what that look like. That's all that is. You could say, oh, it's not that. It might not be that. Might not be racist, but that's what it looked like. I'm just trying to help you because your boy Ghostwriter, I ain't trying to drop no more lawsuits, man. People be crying when they get sued. I ain't trying to keep suing nobody. You see what I'm saying? So I just throw a little word out there, say, hey, homeboy, yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's over with. But you crying about that? What? You must want to get sued. So you must want me to go through A, B, and C to get a lawsuit on you. I ain't trying to do that. I ain't come here for that. I just come here to enjoy. You feel me? That's all I came to do. So I'm saying I ain't trying to do all whatever they doing. I just said a word. I can't even help or control that. I just said a word, bro. Like, just bounce and just stop doing it. Or you could keep doing it, but you gonna lose. As long as you know that, you finna be a losing crash dummy. That's what you gonna be. Because them people who sending you out there to do that, they really on my side. You just don't know that yet. You know what I'm saying? They look at me like I'm one of them. They training me. I heard them say it. Oh, we gonna keep pushing him to be great. I heard them say it. We gonna keep on with him. We gonna keep on. They looking at me like I'm a project. They trying to raise me up. So if you get into it with me, you just a peon. They gonna squash you. I seen it happen 1,000 times. You getting squashed. That's how that's gonna happen. Because they gonna care more about how I feel and think, because they done spent tens of thousands of dollars and years working on me, protecting me, doing all this stuff. So who are you? They ain't been doing that with you. Where your record with Homeland Security at that they concerned with what you do in your life? Where your record that they concerned? Where your record that any members of the U.S. Air Force is concerned with what you do in your life? Your own city police department don't care about what you do. I'm in this city, bro. I got them more concerned about me than anybody else in the city. They come out like it's a dignitary out here. I'm saying, bro, come on. Them people gonna take my side over you or you gonna get smashed. Just stop doing the stupid stuff. You know what I'm saying? If he say that, okay, well, then keep doing the stupid stuff, but don't cry. Because when you raise up to me, I'm telling you, you gonna lose. You know people in Michigan. I don't care if you know judges and feds. You know judges and feds in Michigan. You know 3 outside of Michigan. I got a whole gang of them in Texas that's going to ride. And I guarantee you they got more power than you because they got more people. They got more resources. They got more money. That's Texas. You understand that? You got to understand what it is, boy. You got to just get what it is, man. So I feel what he's saying. Oh, it ain't no airlines. It ain't none solo. Where we going? Bro, you could do, look, listen. I'm going to say this, man. I really got to go, man. Y'all tweaking in here, man. I've been with 3 hours. It's like the Bloods and the Crips. I tell this every time. You go to this neighborhood, they kill somebody in this neighborhood, so they need revenge, and they come kill. And it's just not going to never stop. Me personally, like my situation in this, it don't cost me $1, bro. It's gave me a name. I'm in Michigan because of that. You say what you want to, the amount of money that I got, the money that I still get, all of that come from them lawsuits. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, it don't benefit people who come against me because I'm going to sue you, just like the Bloods and the Crips. When you come against me and break that U.S. law, you done killed my brother. I'm on your neck. I don't care how big or rich you are. I've demonstrated that. You paying for that. And so you mad now, and so you got to respond to that, and you get sued again. But what you don't understand is if you ain't rich enough, you can't play this game because I'm going to bankrupt you. That man, he can afford to give out $20,000 at will. It ain't nothing to him. What's $20,000? He got power like that. You just got to make sure your pockets are strong if you playing with me. Because I'm going to sue you on repeat, boy. I don't care what you say, what you do, whatever. You send something, you going to see what time that is, boy. Real talking. If you go too far, I'll make some phone calls, bro, and we going to deal with you. If you go too far, if I feel like I can't deal with it and I got to pick up that phone, you're going to get dealt with right here in Michigan. You'll get dealt with right here in Michigan, boy. I had them people turn on you, your own community. Yeah, right here in Michigan, you don't know what you're dealing with, bro. You just seeing a picture and it look like that, but you don't know what that is. That could be the CIA. You don't know what that is. So that's what I'm saying. You going over here petting on a rattlesnake, and he didn't act like he was finna bite you by calling you a name, and now what you doing? You crying? You wait. What kind of game you playing, bro? You jump in the pool with gangsters, bro. That's what they do. They gangsters. They bang. If you messing with a rattlesnake, you get bit. That's the game. So when the rattlesnake bites you, you was over there messing with him. Why you crying? That's part of the game. I'm going through a struggle, bro. I'm not crying about that struggle. What I'm doing is part of the game. The people that I'm suing, you gonna go through some stuff. If you ain't strong enough to play it, go back to where you was and be the whatever you was before you would. But you coming out here with me, I'm playing for keeps. I need something from you. I need your nose hanging on that ground, or I need something from your bank account. Cause I'm not gonna play with you. I can find somebody. I ain't gonna go say nothing to them. I ain't got nothing. I ain't fooling with them. But I'm saying you come fooling with people that what you expect you go around picking or messing on people. How you think that's gonna help you? Oh, so and so told you to do it. Yeah, they doing that to help me. But I'm talking about what you out here doing and saying. That's what that was, bro. Man, I ain't got time to talk to no lames, though, bro. I said everything I need to say, bro. We got to go, man. Listen, anytime I get in a situation that's bigger than me, I give it to God, man. I'm a Christian, you know what I'm saying? And I would advise everyone before you leave this world, if you want to have a home in heaven, bro, you got to have a relationship with God. It's mandatory. You know what I'm saying? Bro, every day I wake up, bro, you know what I'm saying? I say that this is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it, man. That's my time, man. I love every last one of y'all. I told y'all once again, 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. That's Eastern time. We the People 3, man, is going to premiere. Make sure y'all check it out. Until then, man, I think we're going live again at Thursday at 7 o'clock. Man, on Wednesday, they said that they have victims. That Jeffrey Epstein thing looks like it's going to reach its pinnacle on September the 3rd. They're going to Capitol Hill. That's what DLS News says. So it looks like it's going to reach its pinnacle on the 3rd. So on the 4th, we probably going to talk about it. I'm going to be as fair as I can. Just because somebody make an accusation against you don't mean it's true, bro. That's my time, man. I love y'all, man. This is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. See y'all next time.